You guys are ready to start now?
Yes.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Usually takes a while to...
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Is it on? Oh. Alright. Good.
Welcome to what is the most picturesque stadium in Sandford football. A mix of flair, quality, innovation makes Cooper Stadium what it is here at Norwood. Narrow wings, shallow pockets and a postage stamp sized playing field hidden among the streets here at Inner Norwood. It's a gem of a ground with immense historical significance. Viewing the celebrations and presentations of the Div 2 Reserves Grand Final as we speak, with the two senior sides out there warming up. Full preview to come. Jack Moore alongside Sean Jackson. Sean, welcome to Div 2 Grand Final Day.
Thanks, Jack. Fantastic to be here. Sun is just coming out as we speak, and would you believe the wind is also dropping off, so really looking forward to this one, Jack. Nothing separating the sides in the minor round, one game each, and of course Salisbury North were the victor in the qualifying final. Both have come from different streams. Salisbury North one game into a grand final. Ross Trevor have had to do it the hard way. Ruckman back into the side today for Ross Trevor. I think it'll be a beauty, Jack. I'm looking forward to it.
It's funny what wins out in these grand finals, isn't it? You make it to the big dance, you have one game in 3 weeks. Does the rest help, or does the continuation of playing hard footy against seasoned opponents help you on the ROCS side of things? We'll preview that in a bit. But of course, Norwood Oval here, home to the Redlegs in Sandford footy. It's hosted football since 1906 and a variety of other sports, including baseball, soccer, rugby league and American football here. Indeed, it serves now as the primary home of the Adelaide Crows in the AFLW. And if you can barely hear us, it's because the presentations of the Div 2 Reserves is taking place. So we might just pause, and any Goodwood Saints fans who are watching us, I'll bring you up to date with that result now. They've captured the Div 2 Reserves flag, and the margin was 13 points in the end over Flinders Park. Not sure if our mics can pick that up. In the C grade earlier, it was Goodwood again, so they've done the double. Couldn't make it into the senior grand final and back to Div 1 after relegation last year, but at least they'll party on into the night at Goodwood this afternoon and this evening, I dare say. As you said, Sean, beautiful Saturday afternoon. A few specks of rain earlier on the drive in. I thought, oh, goodness gracious, but after finding a park and walking a few streets, it's always tricky, but the crowds have packed in. The Saints and Flinders Park and Modbury fans have been replaced by a contingent of Salisbury North fans on the way on that outer wing. And we've got plenty of ROCS in red and black around us as well. And yeah, the fans are packed in and should be treated to a pretty fair game. As you said, both these sides, top two in Div 2, and only one division this season where the top two sides haven't made the grand final, so both very deserving of their spots here in the decider today.
Well, let's not forget, Jack, there's a fair bit of history between these sides. We've only got to think back 11 years to when they played in the 2013 drawn grand final, and then the rematch was the bloodbath. The player was suspended from the competition for a fair amount of time on the back of that game, and they've both tread a different path since then. But for Salisbury North people, nothing gets better than this, because they have yet to win a premiership in A-grade level in the Adelaide Footy League or the Amateur League. But this one promises to be a real good opportunity for them to break the duck. And, well, we're about 3 hours away from finding out whether they can actually get their first A-grade premiership.
They're very well placed indeed. We'll take a look at some of the players and the key ins they've had in the past couple of seasons shortly. But if you're joining us from Salisbury North in the club rooms there, then welcome in. And if you're joining us from somewhere at Campbelltown Oval, I know Campbelltown Oval is hosting the Div 1 prelim day this afternoon. So,
or anywhere, mate, for that
matter.
Yeah,
anywhere around the world.
It's a message from a fellow who watched the game in England last week.
Fantastic. So, the reach that filming footy has, you can always watch these streams back on demand as well, and you can rewind live action too. We've enabled that feature through the finals games. had it happen a couple of weeks ago. Had a few Salisbury North players reach out and say they enjoyed watching the replay back, and I guess you would have been.
Jacob Fisher would have been one of them, the big turner. He would have loved seeing himself strutting around doing the double cobra.
There's a bit of a history there between a few of these players, and you've coached a couple of these guys before on the Salisbury North side of things. Your coaching resume, of course, speaks for itself. History with not only Flinders Park, but as I said, a few Salisbury North players. So you know the mindset heading into grand finals. And I was lucky enough to speak to Luke Harble, the player coach, the big recruit for Salisbury North after the qualifying final a couple of weeks ago. He spoke about, obviously, with his experience at Central District, it's not about, you know, even though they've been promoted up, it's all about playing to win grand finals, Sean.
Yeah, well, that's the background that he's come from. But you know, in the Adelaide Footy League, there is also a prize for the runner-up. And that's one of the beauties of this competition, I think. So both sides, as you mentioned, will get rewarded. Certainly, they're still playing for the premiership, and nothing changes there. And that the side that loses will be disappointed. But at least there is some reward for having a good year. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. I had a chat to a couple of Salisbury North and Ross Trevor people over the last few days and trying to work out where the strengths and weaknesses lie for each side. And I think Salisbury North feel like they have an advantage in their stuff around the footy, their contest work. Ross Trevor, on the other hand, I know Salisbury North fear that their skill level is, if they can get the ball out in the open, is exceptional. So look for an extremely contested game, I think, by Salisbury North, and look for Ross Trevor to try and push the ball out of some space and try and hurt them on the outside and see which style stacks up ultimately with success.
Indeed. And we've probably got about 10 minutes or so until we start the game. Our own Tony Neal spoke to both captains during the week, and those interviews are on the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. So while you're waiting for this game to start, if you're not too keen on watching these presentations, you can go and check those interviews out and maybe watch them on 1.5 speed just to bring yourself up to date with some of these players. But we'll go through the playing list and all the rest of it in the next 10 minutes. But a capacity of 10,000 here at Norwood Oval. Probably not that many in today, but
we're 9.5 now. We've got room for another 500.
Oh, indeed. If you're anywhere near the area, it is the perfect venue. Of course, plays host to AFLW. Gather round games here now in the AFL as well. It's just become a real gem in the Sandford Crown here at Norwood Oval, and all Div 1 grand finals are live on Filming Footy next week and here as well. So if you're in the area, come on down. And as you said, thanks to Dartfish, our sponsors, Sportal and Sports Interactive on Filming Footy. It's Jack Moore alongside accomplished and respected local and country footy coach Sean Jackson. A big thank you to our supporters and management, of course, John Douglas and Tony Neal, our filmer Kyo, and our production suite team led by Alejandro. It's the final day of Div 2 footy in the 2024 season between Ross Trevor Old Collegians, who have done their warm-up and they're back in getting some strong words from Coach Damon Boots. I know you had a bit of a chat with him during the week. I'm sure he'd be fired up, and as you said, there's nothing really to lose with Salisbury North having won the qualifying final and ROCS having to beat Athelston twice in the final series. Of course, Athelston boasted the Div 2 best and fairest Mitch Grigg, and a couple of really tight matches to book their place here today.
Yeah, I think both coaches come in with different backgrounds as well. Luke Haven in his first year as a coach, as a playing coach, it's a completely different look at the good Saints.
So yeah, good Saints reserves lift the cup. Flinders Park, a real fight back in that fourth quarter we saw, and would have been nice to bring it to you, but maybe next year.
Yeah, so as I was saying, and Damien Boots comes with a long history in coaching. Came to coaching quite late, wasn't an early coach, and had some real success with Olding Nations. Took them into Division 1. Yep. I actually was there calling the game when they won their first A-grade game of footy ever in Division 1, and that was a monumental achievement. They're not in Division 1 anymore, but certainly he had a major role in getting them into that. Now finds himself at Ross Trevor in his second year. He's managed to turn them around as well. As our umpires make their way out on the ground, we might give a bit of a roll call now Jack, to our umpires, if you've got the list there. I know the field umpires are Matt Harris, I should say, and Stefan Cedarblad.
Yeah, he asked me pre-game to give him a bit of a wrap, so we'll do that. Matt with the blonde hair, looks like he's gone to the barber, bit of a fresh trim for the day. He's a bit of me about Matt Harris. No, he's an excellent umpire. So
Experienced umpire, yep.
Devon as well, both heavily experienced. A bit of an umpiring stat for you. Didn't think I'd have this, but this is the third time in the past 4 seasons they've umpired a grand final as a pair. So that experience of umpiring grand finals, hopefully we see a well umpired game
as an
this afternoon.
As an ex-umpire, Jack, is it much easier to umpire with someone that you've umpired before?
It's like playing, it's like coaching, it's like commentary. The more you do it with the same person, you know each other's quirks, you know each other's habits, and you can just read the body language, you can read the cues of each other a lot easier. And led by Colin Rowson, of course, ex-Sandford umpire legend, AFL umpire. The coaching and the group of umpires have become a lot closer. They train, once a week, but they do train and do a lot of kind of bonding stuff, I guess, so they know each other really well.
Righto.
The fitness side of things is always there, but whatever the pairing is, you can be assured they know each other, and if they've made a grand final, it means they've deserved their spot, obviously, having umpired through Div 1 all season, these two individuals, and only one more bigger game than this, and so they definitely earn their spot.
Our boundary and goal umpires today?
Yeah, 4 on the boundary here at Norwood, so not much distance to cover between them, so they should have a good day. Daniel Milne, Guido Porcaro, Jake Smith and James Underwood, and Chris May and Robert Tainch with the flags, all with plenty of experience. As we see Ross Trevor come out, and Salisbury North have been out for a while doing their warm-ups, haven't gone back in. Let's do a bit of a preview of both these sides quickly. So, as you mentioned, in terms of football on the field, only one win separated these two this season, both in milestone years. Salisbury North in their 70th season. Kings of Div 2 sitting atop the ladder with 16 wins and 2 losses. Coming into this, no loss to Modbury, who finished 5th. And today's opponent, ROCS, beat them by 52 points in round 10 at Campbelltown Oval. So they take confidence from that. But in their 50th season, ROCS compiled an equally impressive year. They bounced back from a round 1 loss to Salisbury North by 13 points and only lost 2 more games for the remainder of the regular season, both to finals teams, Flinders Park and Athelston. So the 2 best teams in Div 2 are here today.
Yes, they are, Jack. Whilst you have a little drink, I'll maybe go through the list of both sides as Salisbury North boys come over to have their photo taken. Interesting to see their ruck, Matthew Claughton, who was Spox, St Peters and Central Districts. Interestingly, talking to the captain, Geordie O'Brien, about him today, and he mentioned that he's lost 10 kilos over the course of the year, which is a fantastic effort. Apparently Luke got him, sat him down and said, mate, you just need to peel a little bit of weight off, and he's reaped the rewards of that. He looks in fine fettle. So between him and Jacob Russo, I think they've got a pretty good rucking combination, and for Ross Trevor, they'll be pleased to have James Butterworth back in the team. He's been their ruckman for a few years. Didn't play in the last game against Salisbury North 2 weeks ago.
He's got quite the resume. Played his 200th game in the qualifying final. Best and fairest in 21 and runner-up last season. Most courageous in 2022, James Butterworth. So, yeah, key inclusion for the Red and Blacks this afternoon.
Yeah, and look, trying to work out the actual strengths and weaknesses. The forward half for Ross Trevor looks quite imposing. The couple of key forwards in who we've got Wakelin and Kemp. Kemp having played in a league premiership side for Norwood only 2 years ago. And Wakelin, the son of Michael Wakelin, who played a lot of football at Central Districts, the nephew of Darryl and Daniel Wakelin, who played at Port Power and St Kilda.
He was the vice captain of their school first 18 side as well, and played in the 2023 under-18 Sturt grand final loss, and he's really committed this season and leads their goal kicking. Had him a couple of weeks ago in the qualifying final, pushes right up the ground. Whether they elect to do that again today or have him sit inside 50 would be interesting, because by the team sheet, looks like they've left out Luka Stepic, who is their lead goal scorer. Number 32 is listed as an emergency, so they might be playing a few card tricks. We'll just see if he's out there. Can't see him at the moment, but an interesting decision there by the coach, Booty.
This time of year, someone always misses out. There wouldn't be a grand final where there hasn't been some unlucky player. And I went through both sides to see who that player is. And you're right, it's Luka Stepic, who's kicked 41 goals in 18 games, averaging 2.28 per game. They must feel very confident about the front half. And I guess when you've got a player like Charles Kemp playing centre forward, look, it's not easy to win a best and fairest when you play centre forward. Mm-hmm. And he won the Ross Trevor best and fairest last year, coming off of League Premiership Norwood. So what a fantastic recruit to pick up into your club. The other interesting thing to note about Ross Trevor is they do tend to like their own Ross Trevor, and there's only one player in their side who didn't come through the Ross Trevor school. And that is, of course, Sam Buckham in his first year. Played down in the southeast last year and spent a little bit of time at Norwood. But he's the only player who didn't go to school there, so there's quite a few that have come through other juniors clubs, but end up playing first 18s. They've got 4 lads in the team today, Ross Trevor, that are 19 years of age. So got a good blend as well of youth and experience. But to have a player like Kemp at centre forward means you've got a couple of good avenues to goal. So that'll be the difficult thing for Salisbury North, to try and hold those blokes back a little bit, I think.
Spot on. They've got a couple of hangers-on from their 2017 Div 1 Grand Final success. Daniel McCullum was vice-captain that day, and he leads them out there in the number 2. For ROCS, Lanzoni's their vice-captain, by the way, and number 1, their third leading goal scorer of the season. But Will Mead and Tilio Di Matteis played in that 2017 Grand Final, playing his 150th club game by the stats is Di Matteis this afternoon. And Thomas O'Malley played in the 2013 Premiership side. ROCS, a historic Div 1 team. And you mentioned earlier, in terms of stats-wise, that very defensively solid, both these two. So we could see an arm wrestle. The size of the ground, I'm not sure how that's going to suit either team, but ROCS held their opposition to 51 points per game. Salisbury North restricted their opponents to 59 points. So, and offensively, as you said, both teams average 89 and 86 points respectively. So nothing in it, and they split their regular season matchup before Salisbury North won the qualifying final as well. But that shock relegation for Salisbury North, of course, a few controversial circumstances back in 2017. They thought they had the firepower to bounce up a bit quicker. It's taken them a long time to come up. Some key recruiting, ending the season no higher than 6th between 2020 and 2023. You mentioned they recruited, of course, Central District Sandful superstar Luke Harble as their player coach, with the likes of James Lonergan, Jake Johansson, his brother, of course, pulled him over to Salisbury North. They both played in a CBC Old Collegians Grand Final to honour their grandfather a few seasons ago, and both have experience at Glenelg and Sandful. Joey Brown, Jordan O'Brien, all have Sandful experience for Salisbury North. And as for ROCS, they've got the likes, as you mentioned, of Will Mead, Di Matteis and Joshua Shute, who as recently as last season played in 2023 Sandful Grand Final loss for Sturt.
Yes, well, not a lot of recruiting done by Salisbury North, so I questioned why the upsurge in their performance this year with a new coach, obviously. But the fact is, last year they finished 7th, but they lost a lot of points for a misdemeanor, I think, which probably cost them 3rd spot. So they were effectively the 3rd or 4th best team in the competition last year. So they need to improve a lot. They went out and recruited 4 players. Jacob Fisher, he's mentioned from Kingston, and he loves to celebrate with the double cobra, the big tuna.
He's still in a good hole there, isn't he? He's just playing a role.
The 2 Brown brothers from Kapunda, and of course Luke himself. And then on the back of that, they only lost 1 real player, in their best side. So recruiting's been good, but not extensive.
And consistency is key. You mentioned Luke Harble, just sharpening them up, bringing that Sandful experience. Let's head down to ground level for the pre-game.
Salisbury North partners for their support during the 2024 season. Principal partner being Channel 9 Adelaide, platinum partner is North Field, major partners in West End, Sharon, Leeds Street,
Joshua Shoot, who was recent.
South Australian Voice. Value partners in Belgravia Stores, Neo Mall Mountgarden, Nigerian Sportswear, and Whitefield Sports. Adelaide Showroom. Strengthening Adelaide through Cleveland. If able, please join the players, coaches and umpires as we stand for the Australian National Anthem.
From the other commentators. All right, anthem done. Pre-game is just about wrapped up, and we've got a message through. There's a massive Salisbury North contingent watching us on Filming Footy over in Bali, from where you'd rather be, maybe. Just
Have a bintang for me, boys.
Oh, have a paddle across to the other side of the pool at half time if it's not going too well. But of course, wherever you may be watching from on the Filming Footy live stream, this is where you'd need to be today. Still time to get to Cooper Stadium on the far right of the other side. The ROCS fans are packed in there, a few here in the grandstand, and across on the far left we've got a Salisbury North contingent. So the fans are in, the colours have been donned, and well, as I said, since Div 1 relegation in 2017, the closest Salisbury North have come is a semi-final loss 6 years ago. And for ROCS, well, Div 1 stalwarts, they're back where they feel they belong. A 37-point win in the 2017 Div 1 Grand Final. They made the Grand Final again in 2018 and 2020. Relegated in 2022 on percentage. They've got some unfinished business at the top level, and they'll be back there next season.
Yeah, I should also mention that I spoke previously about the Ross Trevor like to keep it within their own confines, and the Ross Trevor coaching staff, Damien Boots and Adam West, both themselves ex-students of Ross Trevor College. For those at home, if you are looking at the screen now, the breeze is favouring the left-hand side or the northern end. I would think it's probably worth 2 goals. We saw a pretty exciting rush to that end in the last quarter of the reserves, but probably worth 2, and it does tend to spring up a little bit. Sun is out. We are set for a pretty good afternoon, I think.
Luke Harville just holding his troops in the huddle for a little bit longer. They had a pretty straightforward road through to the grand final, having to play that one game against Ross Trevor. And so finishing top of the table brings you that luxury. But ROCS, they held off Athelston, led, as I said, by Div 2 League best and fairest Mitch Grigg at home in their qualifying final by 10 points. And they bounced back at Elizabeth Oval last week, so you couldn't find two more contrasting grounds here and there. Norwood's a bit smaller. Will they find it easier? They booked their place with a 16-point win over Athelston again in that game. So it looks like all is in readiness. People and fans taking their seat on Filming Footy. Jack Moore, Sean Jackson, Alejandro, our production suite operator, Kyo on camera, and all our supporters. Umpire holds the ball aloft. Sean, why don't you take us away? It's Div 2 Grand Final here on Filming Footy.
Here we go. Looks like we've got an early tag too. We've got Lim on Jordan O'Brien, the skipper. And it's Butterworth from ROCS who gets first hands on the ball. He hits it, but no one able to clear the ball. So, yeah, interestingly, Salisbury North have elected to tag Jordan O'Brien. And why wouldn't you? Apparently he's one of the most entertaining pre-match speakers as a skipper in the competition, fires the boys up.
He speaks well. He spoke to Cowboy Neil, of course, in the interview, and leads by example, as you said earlier.
Yep, so Clout looking to hit the ball on the check there. No one again able to take, so we'll have a third restart. And plenty of numbers around the contest, either end of the ground. Different forward structures for both sides. The Salisbury North going with the breeze as we have an earliest blood rule
I've seen for a while. You can tell the pressure's up when there's a blood rule in the first minute and a half.
Not happy too, as he curses as he comes to the bench, but it gives Sam Buckham an opportunity to come straight into the midfield. And here we go with restart number 4. No one able to get clear hand on that one. Great tackle by Ross Trevor's Buckham, who's just come off the bench. And again, we said Salisbury North would prefer this style of game with the balls in tight, their aggression and toughness in around the footy, crucial. Again, you can see Lim holding on to Jordan O'Brien there. Ross Trevor now got a chance, but that's a good tackle there by Luke Hable, the skipper, or captain coach, I should say.
Great umpiring too. Gave him plenty of time. Didn't get rid of it.
Good kick from Costanzo across the ground. There's 2 against 1, but Salisbury North end up with it through Ricky Thomas. He goes delightfully into the centre of the ground.
He's the danger man.
Yes, I think that's Johansson, is it? Red variety is my guess. No, it's Jake Johansson, yes.
49 goals, of course, playing with his brother out there in the number 6. He was kept pretty quiet a couple of weeks ago, ROCS. Did a pretty good job on him, but he is that sharp spear inside 50, and this is exactly what ROCS don't need in the first 2 minutes.
Well, experienced player, I think he would have been in consideration for a tag, courtesy of Lim from Ross Trevor. They elected to go to the captain. Here it is, first shot on goal. He's leant back on that a little bit, hoping the wind will do the work. It has just crept over the line, so first blood, first score on the board. Salisbury North kicking with the aid of a 2-goal breeze. First goal to Jake Johansson.
Raises the bat for his half century, 50 goals on the year. Just what ROCS didn't need. The Henley Jr. is with his brother out there, of course, Brad. As I mentioned, 16 goals with Brad. Pulled Jake across, and he's been that missing ingredient, just to add a bit of spice inside forward 50, just to sharpen them up. But how was that centering kick to find him as well? It was really sharp under pressure.
Ricky Thomas, I think it was, from the nice switch of play from the far side of the ground, allowed that opportunity. But a good, nice vision. Very reminiscent of Rioli last night for Port Power. His vision when he got hold of the footy, bring the ball back in the corridor exceptional. Butterworth, hands on this. It ends up with Clout, and then again Johansson gets hands on the footy. Comes around the corner, looking for the big tuna fish. It's taken by Costanzo on the boot quickly. No one able to take the ball on the front. Ross Trevor got first crack at it. Nice handball the outside here. They got Butterworth to relieve the pressure. There's 2v1. Nice mark in the end by Ryan Lim in front of Butterworth, and they relieve the pressure.
The Woodener Jr. played 39 senior games out there, made his ROCS debut in 2021. Just devoid of options, so he just bombs it down the line. There's the big in, Butterworth with the shiny head, noticeable. He's a massive in for ROCS as they try to quell the influence of Matty Clouden, who's in tip-top shape this season, as you mentioned in the pre-game, Sean.
Yeah, a bit of a Kane Corns type Ryan Lim, isn't he? First time I've seen him play. He's playing the role of a tagger, but he's just had the last 2 kicks. So obviously able to get a little bit of the footy, so it's not just a strict tag. Ross Trevor through Demetrius. They go into the corridor now.
Just seeing O'Brien here, just keeping a nice close eye on Sam Buckham as the ball travels all the way outside, and boundary umpire's going to, last possession. They'll bomb it back inside 50 here.
Yeah, Salisbury North crowd giving it to Kane Cheney there with that kick that goes out. Here's the big tuna fish on the left. Couldn't get good purchase on us. I think we'll end up with a restart here, but lucky there in the end, Ross Trevor, because that play where the ball went out of bounds could have easily ended up with a goal for Salisbury North.
Just played 5 minutes, filming footy stream. ROCS and Salisbury North did 2 to side. Umpire's got a call to make, blindsided. Picked up, snapped, goalkeeper on the line. Mark Schwarzer style. Getting right back there and taking the relieving effort. And he had to mark that on the way out as well.
Connor Butcher.
ROCS well stocked behind the footy. This is Butcher in the 10. The Golden Grove Junior started the season, the Rezzies. There's a bit of high pressure. It's intense early from the Hawks. 3-on-1 down the line. ROCS should be able to clean this up, and a nice early mark to ball. Played in the 2022 Grand Final win, Sandford level. Ground level now, Butterworth takes the vice captaincy. He's back in the team, and he's met high as Sam Buckham tried to go in. And now he's done too much. 25 metres will give him a set shot on goal. He's picking himself up slowly, but the umpire just setting the tone nice and early. It'll be a set shot inside 50 from about 40 out for Travis McIntyre.
Well, he should be all right with this sort of treatment, Travis McIntyre. Pretty handy cricketer. He's won the last 6 premierships as a cricketer out at Salisbury West. So he's inside 50. We've had another blood rule again to Ross Trevor. So blood is flowing freely here. And
the one that was sent off early with the blood rule, Warden, is back on his interchange now. So it all goes, It all comes full circle.
Yep.
So McIntyre's just paced out the run up like a fast bowler. Not sure if he's a bowler or a batter at cricket level, but he's taken his time.
I'm not sure either, to be honest with you.
He's marked it out.
Good bit of useful information, really. Or useless, I should say.
Played some footy at Solomon Town and kicked a few goals for Drosten, 32 games out there. Played some Div 1 footy at Port District. He'll be back at that level next year, and that's not going to even score in the end. Out of bounds on the full, umpire just gets a chance to stretch those arm muscles. 7 minutes gone, Salisbury North 1 goal. Ross Trevor yet to get it inside 50 here at Norwood Oval.
Look, that was a difficult kick because the breeze is going right to left, and I thought he had put that beautifully to the right post, but it just kept going. So obviously the spin on the ball wasn't great, but anyway, Ross Trevor now have the ball. Looks like Demetrius, I think, out the far side. Looking for options. Normally a very good kick. It might be Mead, actually. He heads towards a big fella.
Good pressure from Lonergan there, just coming up to put a body on. Otherwise it would have been an uncontested mark and ROCS would have been away.
Yeah, so again, ball just trapped outside of the forward 50 for Salisbury North. A reminder, they do have the breeze at the back. We are 7.5 minutes gone. They did score first and have been peppering opportunities. Here's another one now on the left foot. Brodie McBride back into the side too. Has not played since 10th of August, so since round 17. So he didn't play in the first final, so good in for Salisbury North.
He's a junior, plays some footy at Central's under 18 level. If ROCS can get it out the back, they've been there. McFedrin has been a key in for this side. Some family doing some coaching as he jogs back to his position. Pushes right up the ground as Blake McFedrin played in the under 16s 2023 Grand Final win for Central, so he's got that experience in the big dance, albeit not at the senior level. Can ROCS get some hands on the footy? It's been more tackling and more smothering than it has ROCS possession at the moment. And wrestled out of bounds, taken out is Warden, the T3 Gully Junior. Yes. One of many players who have stayed at ROCS after their relegation a few seasons ago.
Son of Michael Wharton, who played at Port. Very good player, indeed.
See, Butterworth just taking the back position, but just getting on top, playing that role beautifully, and just quelling Clouden, but at ground level and just holding on. A bit too long, trying to get through. ROCS have been pretty impressive to start. This is Fergus Kernahan, the Paynham Junior, and played 28 games at senior level for ROCS and hits up a short option. Play on at all costs. That was the vice-captain Lanzoni. Falls to the back is Baldwin. Tries to just move it inside 50. McFedrin, there he is, putting the body on. Boundary throw in, dangerous spot.
I thought that might have been last touch there. Looked like it came off his boot, but perhaps it wasn't. They're locked inside the forward 50. We haven't had a chance to say that too much yet for Ross Trevor. Probably 20 metres out from goal for their first genuine opportunity to score, but Salisbury North too good. Clear the ball out with a lovely kick down the line of the square. Who'll be first to it? Oh, he's had his head ripped off as Travis McIntyre. He's laid it off pretty quickly to Brad Johansson though, and he's gone inboard. And a nice bit of play. Good transfer of football all the way from the back pocket, Salisbury North end. It's ended up in the hands of Anthony Hellabout. and he has an opportunity here to give Salisbury North their second goal and a terrific start. And I'll tell you what I love about this game so far, Jack. We've got a genuine one-on-one game. No side has a spare. We've got one-on-one all over the ground, and it is tough.
Saw it a couple of weeks ago. Both sides enabled that tactic after Salisbury North got out to a bit of a lead, so they can put some scoreboard space. Who knows what we'll see?
Anthony Hillebert's kicked 41 for the year. That is his 42nd. Fantastic start for Salisbury North. Again, want to qualify that by saying they are going with the breeze, but that's a 2-goal breeze, and we're only 11 minutes in. And what looks a little bit ominous at the moment is that Ross Trevor really struggling to penetrate inside their forward 50, and the one time they did, Salisbury North were able to clear that very quickly, Jack.
And Norwood Oval is not the place you want to be going against the breeze in the first quarter as well. You can literally get it from your D50 to inside your forward 50 with one long kick here. Especially ROCS playing out at Elizabeth Oval last week, just a completely different ground, virtually half the size in regards of width here at Norwood compared to out there on the Ponderosa, so they'd have to adjust their tactics and do it quick because Salisbury North have got it on top. Their two spearheads have both of the scoreboard early, and that needed to be taken because the Mosquito Fleet are pretty strong at ground level, and trying to bust through a tackle was Brad Johansson, trying to back up his brother who got the first goal on the board. Hellebaugh the second. The top 5 goal scorers in Div 2, both on the board early, and that's dangerous. And Salisbury North are locking it inside their forward half here.
Yeah, changing the ruck for both sides. Wakeland's gone in for Ross Trevor and Russo for Salisbury North, allowing the Butterworth and Cloughton to have a little bit of a spell. Both came to the interchange bench.
Oh, it comes
that's
out
interesting.
The back, almost a snap-on goal. The pressure, they've just not given an inch so far, both sides, but Salisbury North have been first to the footy, trying to bust his way through McIntyre. He picked his head up after having it ripped off moments ago. But one thing, Damon Boot, to be pretty happy with early stages, the tackling pressure's up.
Yeah, look, and also Salisbury North, I think what they'd be pleased with, their ability to create a second and third restart and not let the ball spill out. We spoke about that before the game. We didn't want the ball to spill out easily for Ross Trevor. Well, that's been the case so far. They haven't had easy ball once the ball's left the stoppage. Good pressure from Salisbury North. And again, let's see a secondary, third restart here for Salisbury North. Plenty of numbers around the contest. No one able to get hands on it cleanly. There's a lot of players in there. Johansson ends up in the hands of, couldn't see who that was. I reckon it might have been Anthony Hellebaugh, actually.
Yeah. Host of numbers inside 50. You mentioned the tactics. So Salisbury North have now dropped a spare and they're just exchanging spares behind the footy. So ROCS have got an extra just around the ball.
Yeah. It's probably a good move from ROCS' behalf. You know, just 2 goals. I think it's time just to shut it down for the rest of the quarter. And if they can come in at quarter time 2-3 goals down, they'll
adjust
be
to that breeze.
Yep.
And if they can win it around the source and just at least just get the footy away from the high pressure and then just bust a gut and have their midfielders run forward, you can quell that spare number pretty quickly, especially here at Norwood Oval. Fans are packed in the outer. Look at that outer side. It is absolutely jam-packed. Still plenty of time to get here or keep it locked on filming footy. All grand finals out here today. Mr. Ansky got both hands to it. That's what I've been calling for. Get it forward and then run. Middle of the ground was the option, but the pressure from Salisbury North forced ROCS to keep their eye down. Lanzoni, soccer through, there he is. Kicked a miracle goal a couple of weeks ago. And how did he find the target? Eyes in the back of his head from Lanzoni.
Well, in the end, luck can be a fortune, or as they say, but Sam Buckham was on the outside there of Lanzoni. He didn't see him and elected to turn back into the traffic and hook it around his body. And what they say, be in front, you never know what can happen.
This is Butcher. Second season at ROCS, start of the year in the Rezzies. Finds himself in the seniors, the biggest game of the season. And Butcher gets the red and black men on the board. He cuts them up beautifully. A pretty regulation set shot straight in front as the wind dies down. We saw it a bit in the Rezzy, Sean. The wind just kind of pauses and stops for a couple of minutes, and that ROCS play had the spare man around the contest, and the clear instruction was just to get it out of pressure, get it forward, gnaw it over, one kick in your inside 50, and there's your first goal.
Well, a good transfer of play, good mark out the far side by Wakeland, Demetrius, and they transferred the ball right through here and ends up with Lanzoni flicking it over to Connor Butcher. So good play, Ross Trevor. That's their first score of the game. And we are back in the middle. Again, it's not been easy to clear the ball. This is our fourth centre bounce, and no side has been able to take the ball away cleanly at all at the moment. Both sides locking in. Be interesting to see whether fitness plays a part as the game goes on, but at the moment, there's plenty of pressure. Both sides.
See Russo in the ruck there just giving away that free kick. So the Ian of Butterworth is just proving to get on top. Shouldn't be advantage here. Umpires pulled it back for a free kick, but just getting on top in that ruck contest.
Yeah, nice kick from Jet Boxer. Well, I reckon he's found that man, Matthew Dinostransky. Not sure whether I've pronounced that correctly.
You're going to buy a vowel there, Sean? Wheel of Fortune style. But yeah, that kick in from Boxer, the Port Lincoln Junior, if you're tuning in from Marble Range. And a bit of abuse there, giving away 25. This is an absolute gimme coming up. And for all Salisbury North pressure, it's going to be a 1 point game.
Yeah, look, we saw a little bit of this in the B grade. The umpires just are not taking any back chat at all. So
setting that tone early.
It's got to be a clear message from the coaches at quarter time. Do not argue with the umpires. Do not remonstrate. Do not say anything. Do not acknowledge them. Do not even know that they're out on the ground. Ignore them.
It's been tough, hasn't it? Because there's been ball up after ball up, and sometimes, as an ex-umpire, you just want to make sure the tone is set first quarter. We saw it last night at AFL level. They kind of probably overset that tone, then tried to pull it back for the rest of the game.
Yep.
But I think it's been pretty good so far. Just let the players know what they can expect in the first quarter, and then let them win it in the next three.
Yep. So back in the middle, Russo it is for Salisbury North up against Butterworth.
17 gone.
Tag still on from Ross Trevor's perspective on the Salisbury North captain. Can anyone take this ball out cleanly? Butterworth has got it now. Gives it off to Wharton. Lays the ball out the back as you would to Demetrius. One of the better kicks going round. He's found Joshua Shute out on the wing. Haven't really travelled too far forward at this stage. But have a look at the numbers swarm back behind the footy now, and he's taken a while to get going. One way, this way.
The dodge.
He had me confused. I think he had himself confused. But in the end, he's gone long right in front of the Ross Trevor crowd.
Probably the one place you don't want to make an error is right there.
Are they giving it to the Salisbury North player, who I will not identify for the sake of getting sued?
These senior outfits, the only teams to make a grand final, so I dare say both Rezzies and C's collection of players, whether they be in Bali or right here on the outer side, they're packed in tight.
Where are you, Salisbury North supporters? We don't need you in Bali, we need you here.
They've gone quiet the outer side, because ROCS had just gotten on top in the last few minutes. It was all north in the opening stages, and that's an absolute bullet. Coming out to meet Buckham, he's got a Sharon mark on his chest, but he just was full of adrenaline in the wrong stage, overcooked it. Mark taken easily, uncontested. Russo has pushed himself behind the footy, and here's McFedrin on the way out. Almost time on in the opening quarter, Div 2 Grand Final day. It's a cracker so far. Salisbury North up by a point.
Yes, he heads towards Cloughton, but he can't get to anywhere near the fall of the ball. Wharton it is who ends up with it. Handballs to the boundary line towards Ryan Lim. Again, head-eye tackle, or looking for a head-eye tackle there, Salisbury North, but the umpire said, no way, you duck, son.
So big man Cloudon's just pushed himself right back into the ruck here. They need to get on top because Butterworth has started strongly.
Yeah, he had a fair stint out, didn't he? He probably had a good 7 or 8 minutes out, I think, for Russo.
If you wear those boots too, you better play well. Blind about the boots there.
So Salisbury North, Jake Wagner's got the footy now. He played a very good game in the qualifying final, or the second semi, or whatever it was they won the last game.
Kicked 5 goals against the Ruggies in a final a couple of weeks ago.
Yep, he's gone long. And I tell you what, this ended up being kicked out of bounds by Patrick Dawson.
Tried to boot it through for a point, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Got it all wrong.
And unfortunately, well, even under the old rules, I think that would have gone out in the full. So he's turned this one over and given Salisbury North an opportunity. It's not going to be an easy kick for Brad Johansson from that pocket. In my notes, you've got him down as a grandfather. I think that should be father. I don't think he's old enough to be a grandfather yet.
No,
But
him and his brother, former CBC players, and it was a big story about honouring their grandfather there with that grand final win.
Okay, well, he's gone check side, and don't worry about that. For a left footer, he was right in the incorrect pocket, or the difficult pocket for a left footer.
He thinks he's kicked it. It's a point.
Oh,
So Salisbury North there to get themselves back organised, and I think ROCS thought he kicked it as well. They were setting up for
well, I
another.
thought he kicked it. Everyone thought he kicked it, but the man standing between the white sticks, and I'll tell you what, he's the only opinion that counts.
He's the one man that matters on that occasion, and ROCS would take it. Everyone was setting up for a centre bounce. It might come straight back though.
Right in front of the Salisbury North crowd. Good catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, the volume's going up out there. Gee, you had to mark that. That's a mark of the day early. Mark of the day by Tilio Di Matteis. 150th game. Played 6 league games
North
at
Adelaide.
central level for North. Been at ROCS now for 10 seasons. Played in that 2017 Premiership in Div 1. Fist from the back, but a bit of holding in front. Umpire calls play on advantage all the way home, and they just let a few scoring opportunities pass them by, just pushing it right. They could have at least 3 or 4 more goals. 21.5 gone. Salisbury North 2-1, 2-3, 15. Ross Trevor 2 straight, 12 on the near side. Free kick. It's Jack Moore and Sean Jackson for Div 2 grand final day.
He's had a fair bit of the footy for Ross Trevor in the first quarter. Had a lot of work to do, but he's made a couple of mistakes. But I'll tell you what, I've loved the way he's fought back into the game. Hasn't lost his confidence, so it's terrific to see. It's Wharton flies at that one. Ball goes out of bounds. So yeah, look, terrific example to the young kids watching at home. Sometimes you can have a bad start or things don't go your way, but he's persevered, and I really like the way that he's crept back into the game. Boundary throwing.
Fascinating start to this one. First quarter, the key ins. We've mentioned him a couple of times. There's James Butterworth, I should say, in the ruck. Just really equalising it around the ruck contest. It's the one area where Salisbury North got right on top in the qualifying final. And he's giving their midfield his first use. See, Butcher just playing a bit of a high-up role on Law at the back of this contest. He's been ineffective so far. There's Buckham all the way through. Joshua shoot. You give him time to measure it. He's going to do it well. And they're in front, the red and black man. Jimmy Warden was off early with the blood rule. He's back on, and they've gone back to back to back. They're the ones with the grand final experience, and it looks like they've settled the first 2 goals of the game to Johansson and Hellebaugh, but since then it's been all red and black. Inside 50, they get it in there, and they're taking advantage of it, while Salisbury North have been a bit wasteful at their end.
Well, I thought he overcooked that kick a little bit, but in the end, the defence from Salisbury North was poor to allow that ball to get over the back to Wharton. He read it the best of all and was able to finish, but the defence needed to be a bit stronger than that. We're back into this middle. Clout, beautiful hands. Hits Costanzo. Umpire says that's a sling tackle. We'll go back to the centre of the ground, and Costanzo will get probably the first direct clearance from a centre bounce we've seen all day. He's got player out the far side of the ground in the orange boots. Kicks it to him now. He can play on. He does. Elevates that kick. Looking for the big Fisher. Can he go at the ball? He does. He stands under the pack. Can't catch it. But interesting. Travis McIntyre played for the head-high free kick, and umpire Matty Harris said, no way, I'm not paying it. That was terrific umpiring.
Just about to say the exact same thing. He put the head back,
Yeah.
and the initial contact was on the peck, and the umpire wasn't buying any of it. So grand final umpiring at its absolute finest. 3-point lead, 24 gone.
Paid that one though.
Another one, bit of an even up perhaps, and he taps through his partner and he sprints down there just to keep an eye on these leads, because he
Interesting enough,
always
it's Travis McIntyre again, so he's faked.
set of eyes.
He's tried to steal a free kick the first time, not
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
This time he goes hard at the footy, just goes low and gets a reward for a free kick, and well, he's going to have a shot on goal. He has had a couple of shots, hasn't he, I think, but he has yet to nail one, Travis.
Had a pretty good season. Just going at less than half a goal a game. He's got 9 on the year.
Yep,
Played some Div 1 footy at Port District, yep.
Yeah, so just inside 50 will kick it from. Just gives it a good indication to please. Look at that, that's gone easily through, and he celebrates like no one else.
And can you hear them on the outside? They're in, and that'll give him some reason to shout out there.
Well, they want to be in front for peace of mind at quarter time, Salisbury North. They got out the blocks well, kicked the first two, and then Ross Trevor have gone back, bang, bang, bang. So just to steady the ship a little bit, get that one back, will give them a bit of confidence going into the quarter time, because we are 25 minutes gone. If they can pinch one more, it'd be handy. But again, let's see how the centre bounce goes.
ROCS led by 9 in their round 1 game, 33 in round 10. Trailed by 3 in that qualifying final, but held goalless till half time. That monk is on the back, off the back, should say. 3 goals apiece. Free kick in the middle. Umpires just getting involved. Keep an eye on the back of contest here. Sam Buckham played in the Div 1 grand final, loss in 2022. Stanford level, and Prince Alfred as well for that grand final. Spent last year at Padthaway. Buckham is kicked all the way to half forward, but it's turned over. Will they take it on here from half back, or will they just settle for a pretty even margin? Salisbury North, the way is to take the footy on, take the game on. Thomas screams for it on this near side.
Aidan Swanbury.
Yeah, the ball went to about 60 out. Swanbury dropped back. The Hope Valley junior, been at ROCS about 5 seasons. His kick didn't hit, chasing after it. Coming through fierce with Pearce. On the body, oh, he bent it all the way. I'll tell you what, that goal umpire's earning his money there. They're setting home for goal, but they've missed a lot, leaving a lot on the board. 3-5 now, Salisbury North. And the kick in the back pocket, mark taken by Butcher.
Yeah, he's been involved in a couple of nice passages of play out the far side. Todd Pearce, unlucky there. There was a good, intelligent kick at goal. Unfortunately, nothing eventuates, and Ross Trevor alleviate the pressure. They come this side of the ground. Now Salisbury North have another opportunity, courtesy of Joey Brown. Goes on the left foot, and again the bloke I spoke of before, Kane Cheney. He's settled into the game nicely now. He's providing a bit of a rock for Salisbury North to get through. He comes long down the line. Whoa, how about that for the mark of the day to Finn Wakeland? He's a likely type, isn't he?
Mentioned in the pre-game, he is their sharp spear up front, but he does push up the ground, so he gives him that option. And then you'll see him just try to just kind of ghost his way back inside 50 without being trucked. So just keep an eye on him here as he just drifts back inside 50. Looks like Brown's got the job there.
Yeah, vice-captain of the first 18 side back in the day, Wakeland, so obviously some good leadership skills as well, and he must have a good tank for the role they're asking him to play.
Under 18 grand final loss for Sturt last season, committed fully this year, and he's had an absolute starring role. I'm sure it will be mentioned on their best and fairest night, that's for sure.
Cloughton with the beautiful green boots, but that's intercepted nicely by Ross Trevor's Connor, it's not Connor Butcher, Sam
Buckham there.
There he goes into the corridor. Good intercept from Salisbury North. Now they get a chance to go forward. Pearce marks it. Again, orange boots play on. Sonny does, left foot. He shanks it. They got a chance though. There's a hole there if they can get there first. 2 Ross Trevor players there. In the end, a good tackle by Brad Johansson.
Ball was pinned straight away. Smart umpiring. Pull it up.
Good position. Middle of the ground. Butterworth, first hands on it. Pearce there, opportunity. Again, not able to break the ball into space, and we'll get another reset.
28 and a half gone. Siren can't be far away, but boy, have we had a number of ball ups and a number of set shots. 6-goal quarter. You'd expect there to be no more than a couple of minutes left. Umpire just earning their jobs. The amount of ball ups this quarter. The tackling has been... Tackling has been bang on, and there is that quarter-time hooter. So Salisbury North out of the blocks early with 2 of their sharp spears. Jake Johansson, 3rd in the Div 2 regular season goal kicking, and Anthony Hellebauer, 5th in that category. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, but then it was Butcher, Nistriansky and Warden, and Ross Trevor had the lead before McIntyre pulled one back. Pretty sharp opening term. Norwood Oval, it's a ground where you get close matchups because of the size of it, and I think we're in for an absolute beauty, Sean.
Well, it's been a good start, hasn't it? Where it's a little bit like the season. They 1 win each in the season, and then clear win to Salisbury North in the qualifying final. And Well, we started with Salisbury North looking like a good clear start the first 10 minutes. Ross Trevor fought back at a beautiful purple patch for the next 10 or 12 minutes. You see how the crowd starting to come onto the oval to support him. And you've got to stay out of the centre square, so I think a few blokes now going through there, but some Salisbury North numbers coming across to their huddle.
Thought for a second some of the Salisbury North fans are trying to get around the ROCS boys, trying to put them off, but they're just drifting into their team and trying to listen in to some inspirational words. Luke Harbull's been a little bit quiet, but he can play those defensive roles as well as that player coach. So the support for both sides here, they're packed in here at Norwood. It's a fantastic day. The weather's clearing away. And
sun's just coming out now.
What a beautiful afternoon for it. Take a short break, I reckon, and we'll be back for the second quarter. 3-4-22 Salisbury North. 3 straight Ross Trevor. Their inside 50 to goal ratio has been bang on. We'll take a short break here on Filming Footy. Second quarter is coming up. Don't you go anywhere. Switch them on. You're good with that first? Side, well-respected and career coach Sean Jackson on the call for the Div 2 Grand Final on Adelaide Footy League Day. All the other Div Grand Finals are streaming live now, so check those scores, but come back to us. We're the best one in National. I dare say a 4-point gap at quarter time. Salisbury North 22, ROCS 18. We saw at quarter time some ex-names getting around the Salisbury North of boys as Michael O'Loughlin is here, of course, and Gavin Wanganeen won't be far away, but the captain, Jordan O'Brien, player coach Luke Harbull, and the bench coach, of course, Damien McBride, who are leading Salisbury North today. And we saw a couple of good moments for vice-captain Stefan Lanzoni in that first quarter for ROCS.
Score from the Division 3 Grand Final at quarter time. Henley 20 to Lockleys 3 points.
Interesting.
So Henley leading by 17 points.
That's live now,
That
as
is
is the Div 4 and 5 and 6 Grand Finals too today.
Yes, big day for the Adelaide Footy League.
And the Div 1 prelim as well happening, and I dare say the winner of that one is just winning the right to be smashed by Glenunga in the Div 1 granny, but you never know.
Well, it's not always easy being the clear-cut favourite, as Henley are obviously today.
And Porter just hitting form at the right time. They've got Lysette and Gray and a few others there.
Trent Heffernan comes back next week if they make it through. So
Haynes across half back as well.
Bit of heat on this game today because Trent Heffernan was reported by someone off field and the last time these two sides played against each other. So
There you go.
copped a 6-week penalty, which means he's had to sit out of footy for a while. But anyway, back to Norwood Oval, folks. It's 4 points to
The action
Salisbury
is
North.
for sure. Look at those fans. Security just making sure, the umpires making sure the security guards are on their game and just pushing all the fans behind the fence. Still plenty of time to get down here. Second quarter underway. Balls up. Here we go. Clouden in the ruck. What a first quarter James Butterworth played, but Clouden getting the tip. One down. That was Jordan O'Brien with the clearance. Leading them well. And Noah, nice, cool head under pressure. Lovely effort from Ball. He got it to Butcher. And they're away. Start of the season, the Rezzies. Bites off that 45. That's modern day footy in a bit of a nutshell. It's got to work. Umpire calls play on. Well umpired, I thought. Ball came out in the tackle. Spills out the back. Waiting down O'Malley. One of two players that played in their 2013 grand final. All 2 seasons ago. And that's a fantastic call, Matty Harris. I'm getting around the umpire there because that was textbook deliberate. You look it up in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of that. Smashed inside 50 from Kemp. Played junior footy in orange. Picked up by Shoot. Around the corner. Lives up to his name. Gets the shotgun out and goes bang.
Well, you called it well, Jack, but I tell you what, I'll have to go back and reread the rules because my understanding was the deliberate out of bounds was very rarely played in the Adelaide Football League.
Rare as hen's teeth, correct.
I can't remember the last time I saw one being paid, and yes, it was deliberate, but hell, it was no more deliberate than most we see every week. So it's ended up the goal to Ross Trevor, so an important free kick given away by Matty Harris. I hope he is, well, I'm sure he's more versed in the rules than I am.
Well, he can't be dropped from here. You would have thought grand final today, but it's one of those ones we were always coached as umpires. When there's enough space between you and the defender and your only intention's to punch it out, you pay it, and he paid it there, and as you said, leads to an early ROCS goal, and they're right on top. And look at Butterworth. He's making Clouden just put the yards in, free kick and punch it inside 50 again.
Yeah, he's obviously got a mindset to try and wear the big clout out a little bit. Looks a little bit more mobile. Ross Trevor are first to everything at the moment. That's no exception. That's Jet Boxer around the corner. Hit by Salisbury's Johansson. Now they come down the wing. Look at McCullum in best position.
Yeah, nice.
And all the one-on-one at the moment is in Ross Trevor's favour. Some danger signs on there's the danger signs for me all over the ground at the moment. Ross Trevor are on top. Now, at this stage, they only lead by 2 points. This quarter's only just started, 2 minutes in. If they score this, they'll go up by 8 points.
And they're just finding space.
Well, they're first to the footy, mate. They're hunting the ground ball better than Salisbury North are at the moment. So,
And if you get on top at Norwood Oval, you've really got to hit those kicks and put them in the right spot. If you're a metre left or right, you're made to pay. That kick inside 50 was absolutely bang on.
So Lanzoni, 40 metres out, 45 degree, makes no mistake about that at all. He's kicked 28 for the year across 20 games, so he knows where the goals are. That's his first for the day. But as I mentioned 30 seconds ago, Jack, there are some really worrying signs for me. It looks like we are into the fourth quarter in terms of Salisbury North being second to the footy.
And it looks like roles reversed. It looks like Salisbury North are the squad that have played 3 games in 3 weeks, whereas ROCS have done that. Salisbury North come in with a week off, and as a coach, you know sometimes just playing footy every week is a bit of an advantage compared to having a week off.
Well, that's how it appears now. Butterworth, Cloughton, Butterworth first hands, Shark this time by Salisbury North. They go forward to Pearce, takes it, his left foot I think, couldn't kick it. Go around the corner now, courtesy of Brad Johansson. Again, Ross Trevor have all the answers. They kick it back from where it came. It's going to go over the top here too, I think. 3v3, good one-on-one battles everywhere. Salisbury North good enough to get out of this one. Now they've got an opportunity to set something up. Beautiful kick into the corridor. If they can catch it, they can't. They've got numbers here. Great tackle by Patrick Dawson.
Gave him plenty of time to get rid of it.
It's a bit stiff for Brody McBride, but again, hasn't played a lot of footy lately. Dawson wastes no time. Kicks it into the hot spot. Gee whiz, it was a whisker away from being marked. And
He's dived on that.
Yeah, that'll be a free kick. I think he was hoping to get a head-high tackle there. Ross Trevor's Bo Baldwin, but Matty Harris consistent with that rule, isn't he?
It's not the worst spot to give away a free just to hold it up.
No.
On the wing now, and the fist comes in from behind. It was going to be a mark from McCallum, the captain, and ROCS seems they've got an extra couple of numbers out there at the moment. Last possession kick. That ball's going to start from outside the boundary line. Umpire Stefan Setterblad right onto it. Be taken by Ball. Short option right back to DeMatteis, and when you don't honour that short option, it can come unstuck. McCallum, the kick went about 14.9, so the umpire rounded up. Here's DeMatteis, they're waxing lyrical back there. Got to get it forward, that's what's worked. It's coming right back over their head, 3-on-1, the one almost worked. Pressure at ground level, and Will Mead, cool head in the crisis, they need it. Turns it straight over, and the tackle coming in from Swanbury, just too aggressive, high.
Yeah, Travis McIntyre, he's won a couple of head-high free kicks. Gee, we've had some turnovers in the last couple of minutes.
Trying to measure it and just trying to be too perfect, aren't they?
Yeah, both sides just missing with the ball a little bit. Opportunities for Ross Trevor. They look to me like just trying to get a little bit fancy with that last play. So you've got to keep doing what you're trying to do. And look, they want to push the ball out into space, no question about that. When they get it outside, they do look dangerous, but there's a fine line between over-finessing or lairising. I thought that was a little bit leery the last play.
And when ROCS have got it inside 50, they've taken their chances, 5 goals straight, whereas Salisbury North just trying to walk it in at the moment. And they can't quite get it in there, trying to play a bit of Barcelona type stuff. We saw it with the Hawks last night, but credit ROCS, because when the Hawks have looked up, it's been all red and black, and they just can't fire away.
Could have easily been a free kick for holding the ball there too. Umpire let it go. Plenty of numbers around this footy. Salisbury North need a goal just to stem the tide. Here's an opportunity. On the boot quickly. Russo! Still there, Russo on the left. Can he wing it back? Oh my Godfather.
We've got about 5 or 6 possessions, and the ball didn't go more than about a metre, I reckon.
That was, well, if you want to replay that back, you'll probably erase it from the tape pretty quick, I would have thought.
Bit of almost football legends type stuff there, but comes to absolutely naught. 3-5, so Salisbury North, can they be made to pay? It's through the hands of Fenson. Here's Dawson in the long sleeves, and instructions just been to get it on, get it inside your forward half, because once it's down there, it's very hard not to score at Norwood Oval. The windsock is limp at the moment, so the wind and the weather not a factor. Inside 50, the run is the red and black speed. Oh, speaking of speed.
Good tackle.
Blake McFedrin, if you don't mind, started the season in the reserve, senior debut in round 11. He's made himself undroppable, saved a certain goal. The Salisbury North fans are squirming.
Yeah, I'd like to see the coach start to impose himself on the game here now, Luke Hable. He really needs to stand up the next 5 or 6 minutes defensively, get him structured right. Here's an opportunity, the ball's heading in his direction.
Arm wrestle.
It's going to spill over the back, but it can't just be about trying to get ball on the outside. Their structure under a little bit of pressure. He's got the footy here now. Needs a good finish, and that's a good finish. Hits it to Dion Lawler. He keeps it in nicely and hits up Brad Johansson. Gets it back, Lawler. Nice bit of play. Gives on the inside and again gets it back. Terrific run from Dion Lawler. Needs a catch here. Ross Trevor. Ross Trevor's Daniel McCallum has been hit pretty high there.
25 as well, it is.
Jake Wagner. And I'm not sure what happened there. Did someone come in and remonstrate with Wagner?
Yeah, they were both wrestling after the 25 has been paid, and he's paid a double 25, so a 50-metre penalty here.
I'll tell you what, there's not too many.
This could be a set shot here.
There's not too many tougher than Daniel McCallum, I can tell you that.
They don't make him much tougher than him. He's going to back himself, I reckon.
Physiotherapist, outside 50.
Oh,
he's had a fair crack at it, but as you should know, for a right footer, you've got to go a little bit wider with the right foot there to try and bring the natural curve of the ball back, and you've got the breeze factoring right to left, so bit of a let-off there for Salisbury North. They are at 3-5. Ross Trevor 5-1. The margin 8 points. Need to get a score soon, I think. It looks like Hable's asking for a new footy.
Umpires inquiring too. McCallum thumped the air out of that one. Vice-captain in the 2017 grand final, played in the 2013 grand final as well. Did McCallum, of course, played some time at Norwood and Sturt. Couldn't quite bust for a senior game as Matty Harris shows off his skills there and slopped that footy over.
McCallum kicked all the wind out of the last ball, so we've had to have that replaced.
And the windsock on the outer side, you'd swear it's going left the screen.
Matty Harris is just out.
He's owning himself. He wants a few highlights.
Well, he's just shown why he's umpiring, actually, with that kick. Matty held the play up. Hopefully the time clock has been stopped.
As umpires, we make pretty poor footballs. They give you the hot tip.
Yeah. So Hable, middle of the ground, now goes to the pocket. It's up Blake McFedrin. He comes back into the camp towards McCallum.
He's there for days.
Plenty of Ross Trevor players there. It's Hayden Swanbury. He kicks it into the corridor. Everyone goes strong at the footy contest. 3 players there. Ross Trevor looking for a head-eye free kick. Kick quickly. Someone needs to take this ball quickly. Dawson trying to pick it up. No one can pick it up. She's hot footy to take at the moment. Now they're a chance. Yep, they come this side of the ground. Good positioning. Jake Johansson. Will he get 25?
He's been put down. The umpire was right there. I think he just tried to get out the Paul Newman's mayo and put a scoop or 2 on it, and he wasn't buying it. He's got to hand it back.
Well, this will give us a good indication of the breeze because he's going to be kicking from about 45. He had no problems the other end of the ground in the first quarter, so this will give us a good indication of what it's like out on the ground because we're sitting here in a protected grandstand.
He pushed all the way up to half back and he was the only one that sprinted this near side and he was all by himself. You don't want to let him do that. 18 league games for Port, 35 for Glenelg and 48 for the Eagles. This man is a sharp shooter.
Important kick for Salisbury North. Obviously the breeze is a factor because he knew he couldn't make the distance. But have a look at that finish. That is an absolute... touched on the line. Unlucky, but again, only just made the distance, and there's no love lost between him and McCallum. The little words being exchanged a la Ken Hinckley Ginneman style.
Going to be on the flight next week, wherever they're going on their off-season trip. See you in a couple of weeks.
Dawson goes out the far side. Salisbury North first to get hands on it, O'Brien. Now they come into the centre, into the forward line. They've got to mark again, about the same distance. Not sure about this kick either, distance-wise. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah. Firstly, Rumpelstiltskin type silk from McIntyre on that entrance inside 50, and the ROCS fans in that pocket.
Have a listen to him. Juiced up from the Cooper's Hill.
If he kicks it, I can guarantee you he's going to turn around and tell him exactly what he thinks about it. But there wouldn't be a tougher spot on Norwood Oval than this pocket because it's not quite a pocket, it's not quite a wing. So you think he can go the drop punt, and he's lining up for it. He's ignoring those fans.
Yeah, well, he's hit it beautifully, actually. He's gone to the top of the square. The Ross Trevor crowd gave him a bit of stick. Costanzo goes around the corner. Look at 3 Ross Trevor players. They spoil each other. Force it over the line. Just a lack of talk there on that occasion. But I tell you what, the last 5 minutes, Salisbury North have got a bit of a hurry on, and this game has ebbed and flowed right from the start. Dawson goes straight up the corridor. Now Salisbury North for a chance. 3 players there. No one takes it cleanly. Ends up with Dion Lawler. Now we go long to the top of the square. And stupidly, they've given away a free kick. Jake Wagner and Ross Trevor.
Yeah, Wagner was second. He knew he couldn't make it, so he had to take out the opponent to hold it up. Time! You don't have that much time on grand final day!
Kane Cheney. Now, I've pumped his tyres in the last quarter and said his ability to bounce back from a mistake. That's his first mistake since that first mistake of the quarter.
He ordered the steak well done. It came rare and he bit off more than he could chew. And now it's going to be a set shot. It's going to go straight back over his head.
I think distance
and
again.
Can stick the dagger in here. Drawing up.
Distance again. Is it Johansson with the footy?
3 goals, 7. This will bring her back to 31 apiece. He's taking some deep breaths there.
Is it Johansson?
Small ground. Just waiting till he gets a bit closer for us. It looks like...
Yep.
He's popped it away in! Pumps the fist, gives him the doubles. Brad Johansson points up to the heavens. The CBC man, he's been at Salisbury North now for a few seasons. He said, Jake, come across, let's go play some Div 1 footy. And at 31 apiece, their Div 1 ticket is booked. But the one thing yet to be secured is that premiership. And 14.5 gone second quarter. We're no closer to finding out who's going to take home the flag, Sean.
Well, he showed his brother how to kick him, didn't he? Like, he's just had a little bit more length on the kick. Perhaps it was a little bit closer to goal, but again, all the momentum has been Salisbury North in the last 5 minutes, and you've got to take advantage when you have the momentum, and they did that. The game is level. We're 15 minutes in. Boy, oh boy, we expected a good game of footy, and that is exactly what we are getting here today.
Oh, reading it absolutely beautifully out of the middle. Jimmy Warden, he stayed after their relegation and he's won it nicely. And how's the bodywork there at the back?
Nicholas Stokes.
Anglevale Jr. playing his first season, played some footy at Eastern Park last year and taken down. Marking contest, there's the sleeved one. Is it Dawson?
Yes, it's Dawson. Got everything this game. We've got some...
Athelston Jr. It's just yo-yoing back and forth, isn't it?
Yep.
And some instructions off the bench from Jake Johansson. He's
What
just
a
come
beautiful
on. Oh,
kick.
he's turned it straight over. Should have marked that every day of the week.
What a beautiful
The grand
kick he
final
is.
pressure.
Patrick Dawson. I love seeing him play on the forward line. He's playing more of a wing role this year.
So we've been also have a bit of a 2-on-1 here as Jake Johansson. No one's really picked him up as he's come off the bench, so he's just dangerous if the Hawks can get their hands on the footy, but lucky for ROCS, it's been all locked up, but ROCS still haven't identified him. He's pushing closer into the stoppage now. An injured player will give him time to man up. So out of side, score check, 4-7-31, 5-1-31. More than one way to skin a cat. Sean Jackson and Jack Moore, Div 2 grand final day from Norwood Oval. Corky in the second quarter. Oh, it's a bad one there. It looks like McIntyre.
It is Travis McIntyre limping, and he's been important for Salisbury North. They want to hope that one's not as bad as it looks.
He's got a grand final premiership medallion around his neck. I'm sure he's not going to feel the pain in about 6 to 7 hours' time.
Yeah, he's got that knee heavily strapped though. Ross Trevor, an opportunity here. It's in the corridor nicely for him. Can they take it cleanly? They can't. Salisbury North's Ricky Thomas lays it off to that man, Dean Lawler, who's having a terrific quarter. They hold the footy up now, survey the options. It's all Ross Trevor down the line, so he's probably going to have to go into the corridor if he can find a loose player, or short. Gee whiz, he's gone short and should have probably been punched a bit more aggressively by Connor Butcher.
I'll tell you what, that was kick from Brock. Fensom on the wing. He's covered the ground like a gazelle today, Fensom.
Joey Brown was at mark the footy, but that is Cameron Ball doing what he does best, intercepting. Loves that kick, switch of play to Tulio Dematius. You know, he's one of the better kicks going round. So you want the ball in his hands. See what he does with this one. Almost turned the last one over a couple of minutes ago. Decides to go long. No one even touched it. Sam Buckham it is, inside 50 or right on 50. Couldn't steer that on line. Again, the ball goes over the back. Salisbury North in good position in front of their player there.
Rushed out.
McFedrin,
he's
did it
been.
well.
I've called Salisbury North a couple of times in their qualifying final and back in the regular season, and he's been one who's just doesn't let a mark get taken on him at any stage. So 18 minutes gone. This is a key part of the quarter.
Played a bit of B grade this year too. He's 7, 8 and 9 B grade, so he's done well to hold his spot and played pretty solidly today so far.
Father's involved with the reserves at the coaching level. Just see Salisbury North pushing Jake Johansson up around the footy.
No one in the goal square for either side at this precise moment in time.
And just hacked out of mid-air, and that hit the Roger Woodcock end on the floor almost, if it wasn't for the netting back there. Beautiful conditions. The wind's just picking up slightly here at Norwood Oval. Favouring left of your filming footy screen. All grand finals live now. Check them all out. But come back here, because why wouldn't you? 18.5 gone, 31 apiece.
There's your boy.
McFedrin, there's your mark of the day. There's two loose down the wing. Haven't quite picked him up, and McFedrin, you give him a wrap and he turns it straight over. Ball. Key post for Norwood in the grand final last year. He's pushing himself up, trying to get involved.
Great smother O'Brien there.
A little bit of candy cheating. And Lanzoni having a big impact on this first half.
Well, it was in front of the coach, wasn't he? He was in front of Luke Hable on that occasion, and sometimes that's all you need to be. In front, quick kick into the forward line, and luck's of fortune, he's going to have an opportunity. He'll make the distance from here, no question about that. This is for his second.
Athelston Jr., he played 4 reserves games at Norwood, stuck around there. He's been with ROCS since they dropped down a couple of seasons ago for his second of the term. Sean, you called it beautifully. The minute he left the boot, he was off! Spinning around and spinning his tyres. Absolutely loved it.
And the first player to kick 2 goals. Breaks our run of singles. So good to see. He's a good finisher of the footy, isn't he? When the ball's in his hands inside 50, he looks like he's very confident and competent in front
Their
of goal.
first goal since he kicked his first at the 3rd minute of this quarter. 2 in the first 4 minutes of this quarter for the ROCS, and since then it's been Salisbury North just pushing the arm back down on the table. That's a big goal heading into time on.
Yeah, terrific goal. We're back in the middle. We've got the original ruckman in. Butterfield, Orton or Cloughton. Butterfield first hands on it, and then Dave follows up his own work, looking for a free kick. Umpire lets it go. Spills out now. Again, Salisbury North good on in the inside, but have a look on the outside. You've got all Ross Trevor. You've got Lanzoni in front of it. Just too many Salisbury North players getting sucked into the contest there for mine. Butterworth hits it out into space. Bit of a lull.
And that was fencing. We just pushed up because, Sean, you saw it beautifully. ROCS had a couple of spares out the back, and Fenson saw that. He pushed up, he got himself involved, and there he is again with a kick. Almost luckily marked, but coming up, don't argue. Costanzo right in front of that ROCS contingent on the outer side. Norwood over, inside 50, coming right up. What's on the menu? A goal, a point, set shot, over the shoulder, goalkeeper back on the line.
Well done, Dawson.
Dawson read it beautifully.
Unlucky, Jake Wagner.
That was sailing through, I dare say, Sean.
Yeah, it was going close, but Dawson read it beautifully. Good pace to get back there. For a bloke playing, I think, wing or half back, he's pushed back beautifully there.
50 goals over the past couple of seasons for Dawson, only the 5 this year in a new role.
Here's a chance for the coach. Hayball sets sail, and it stays in actually. Ends up with Dawson. It's a beautiful kick. O'Malley.
That would have been a free kick, and he almost made a meal.
He did.
Hit the target though, so the coach won't be too upset, Damon Boots.
So O'Malley looking for options in the corridor, which is what they've done a fair bit of. In the end, he has to go down the line to Charles Kemp.
See that breeze on that kick just pushing towards us now, so it's going to be very interesting if that keeps up, left of screen.
Yeah, a bit of length on this kick. And a good smother by Sam Buckham. Been pretty impressed with his game today.
They make him tough out in Woodinut. He played 34 senior games for them, and
Woodinut
reserves at Norwood. Padthaway, great part of the state. He played some footy there. They've attracted a few big names over the past few years.
Yeah, I think he was injured actually for a fair bit of the year last year, Buckham.
6-7 games.
Yep. So here we go. McIntyre.
Oh, bit of a hurdle.
Ricky Thomas round the corner. Was Trevor in best position? Free kick given away.
Didn't have to do it either. You could say you probably...
It's McCallum, I think, it gets another one. He's been in the wars a little bit, hasn't he? But again, like I mentioned earlier, no player loves it more than Daniel McCallum. He's as tough as bootlaces.
He is as tough as something that's really tough, that's for sure.
Yeah, tough.
Tough as uncooked. Uncooked for me. Another mark of the day contender, Lonergan. He was the best on ground in the under-19s grand final for North Shore in the Sydney AFL. There's a bit of a stat for you.
I tell you what I reckon's happened, mate. I reckon the coach has pushed himself up the ground. So he's
getting involved.
Yeah, he's starting to get a bit of ball through the midfield, which is terrific to see.
Big call! Taken early in the marking contest, and you're observing it beautifully, but Harbour's just pushing himself up, and with that, he's pushed the whole team about 5 metres further forward, so they're locking it in their half of the ground, and it just forced ROCS into making a mistake in the contest because Russo had pushed himself down. He was just nudged under the footy. This to bring it back to a draw once again. What a game!
Geez, Matty Harris has given some free kicks away in front of goal today. I thought umpires didn't do that.
Russo, umpire, made to dance.
Well, that's a let-off. 4 goals, 8 tells the story, doesn't it? 12 scoring shots to 7. They've missed a few, but none easier than that.
It's a bit early for a handy behind, perhaps.
Yes.
Cuts it back to a 5-point game. I'm sure Hawthorn would have taken a few of those last night. So ROCS bring it in, 24 gone. This is the time where you just don't want to concede a goal. It's as simple as that. You want to score one. Don't want to concede. Oh, that's a beautiful effort. Looks like Brad Johansson, not only a key and a gun around the footy, but that defensive work inside 50 as a coach, you love forwards who have that defensive side of their game.
Yeah, that was terrific. So Salisbury North need Russo to get first hands on the ball, but it's Butterfield who gets it. Enough players there for Salisbury North if they can polish something out of this. I tell you what though, Ross Trevor player's gone down there.
Yeah, knocked down. It looks like he's up, which is good.
Nothing untoward in it, I don't think. No players remonstrating with the Salisbury North player, Travis McIntyre there. So
I think everyone needs a bit of a breather in this first half. They'll get it shortly.
Yep. So
It's that ground Norwood, isn't it? You just think because it's a bit smaller, you can go an extra 5, extra 10%,
yeah.
and you just use your petrol tickets. And if you're all fired up grand final day, you wake up full of energy, full of a burst.
Well, the game certainly opened up from what we saw in the first quarter, and all numbers now in this front 50-metre grid.
And North do have that loose behind the footy, so it looks like Luke Harbour was just trying to shut up shop. Can Ross Trevor get it over their head?
Boy, here's a chance over the back if he can get it. I reckon he's a chance here. He has. He's marked it beautifully. Is that Wharton? I reckon that's Wharton. He gets it on quickly. Beautiful kick. Wow. Beautiful kick. It's ended up with Connor Butcher, who's ran really hard, but it was Wharton's mark there against the odds at centre-half forward that's opened up this scoring opportunity for Ross Trevor.
It all started because Brown was the spare, and that kick, he just held on to it for an extra 5 metres on the outer wing, sucked Brown up, and then the exchange of that spare man, Stokes became the spare. He got sucked up the ground, and the kick went over his head, and Butcher was in the right place at the right time.
Connor Butcher for his second of the day. Oh, he has butchered that by name and butchered that by nature, hasn't he? It's a bad miss, but I guess just equals the miss that we saw at the other end of the ground. So both sides feeling the pressure in front of goal. Everyone understands the significance of the game. We're 26.5 minutes in now, not much time left to go. Hable pushed himself back into defence here.
ROCS with a couple of spares all the way down the ground too.
It goes towards Russo.
Bang!
Butterworth. He punches the ball out. Siren imminent.
Send that into the golden fist. Punches it about 10 rows back into Cooper's corner. And Norwood Oval, Div 2 grand final day. Jack Moore and Sean Jackson. And it did it. Almost half time. Punched out Butterworth. Might be a nice mark taken by Kernahan. Umpire says play on. So they do. Ground level. Picks it up. It's exciting. It's hot. Hot potato at ground level. Can you get it out? Someone needs to be clean. And just bang it out of there. Might have been Harville coming through. The coach, bang, Pearce, pick it up, get it forward. McIntyre runs into his own man. Now he's in desperate trouble. Just dribbled along the ground and no one really wants to get in there and after it. Will Mead comes in and that's a clean use. Ball all the way over the back though. Just pushed an extra metre or two.
Well, some tight-looking players out there, considering we've only played a half.
Hands on hips everywhere.
Yeah, and a small ground, we've only played a half, but the intensity of this game is finding both sides some real difficulty. So it's going to be interesting to see the longer this game goes, where the fitness does become an issue. At the moment, Ross Trevor, they'll go in at half-time, 6 goals, 2, 6 points in front of Salisbury North, 4 goals, 8, but really there is nothing in this game, and hard to make a prediction from here. On the start of that quarter, it looked like Ross Trevor by how far? For probably 5 or 6 minutes, and Salisbury North, give them credit where it's due, Jack. They fought back beautifully.
Oh, it's playing out like an absolute classic. You're going to have to watch this one back tonight. Some of the ROCS fans here cheering their boys off the ground, but it is playing out like their round 1 game at Salisbury North, where it was the Hawks by 7 at half time, and the score there, Salisbury North 37, ROCS 30, and it's very, very similar as the umpires make their way off. They've been involved too, but
Score at Woodville Oval for Division 3 grand final. I gave you the score before at 20-3 points, Henley up. It's half time and the score is 24 points to 5 points.
Wow.
That is a low score.
That is a low scoring arm wrestle if you've ever seen one. That one live now and all the other grand finals too. Check out those at half time and come back here for the second half. But just to recap your goal scorers, so Butcher with the first, Nistriansky for ROCS, Warden in that first quarter 24-minute mark with a brilliant effort, Shoot, and then Lanzoni with back-to-back goals in the 3rd and 19th minute after Shoot's goals in the 1st minute of that second quarter. Brad Johansson only goal of that quarter for Salisbury North. Joined his brother Jake, who kicked the first one. Hell about. I'll tell you what, Sean, ever since the first kind of 10 minutes, Jake Johansson and Hellebow have been pretty anonymous. They've done well to keep them quiet inside 50, you have, ROCS.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether, I haven't really noticed, but it looked like an obvious tag at the start of the game, didn't it? Lim on Jordan O'Brien. We haven't called Jordan O'Brien a hell of a lot in that first half, so did take my eyes off of that and see whether that tag is still running. We'll give the viewers some information on that as the game recommences after half time, eh?
We will. What a brilliant sight. Still time to get down here for a second half if you can't make it if you're in Bali. Shout out to some Salisbury North fans in Bali. We've been told by our fellow commentator Jack Banwell, who was in Sejuna last week. What a beautiful sight and location that was. You can watch that back on Filming Footy. But it's half time. We will step away and come back with what will be a second half, and who knows, we could be in for extra time because at half time it's a goal margin and it is anyone's game here at Norwood Oval in the Div 2 Grand Final. Division 2 Grand Final, and where else would you rather be than at Norwood Oval for this
Front of the heater.
absolute cracker? I tell you, a heater would be nice up here. If anyone's watching, bring it to us. But I'll tell you what, the players are playing an absolute hot game, and the footy was hot. Matty Harris, look at him go. He's doing a few run-throughs. The umpires are trying to keep warm. It's a cool, brisk afternoon at Norwood Oval. But Sean Jackson and Jack Moore here on Filming Footy. Big day across the Filming Footy channels. Div 2 to Div 6 Grand Final, Div 1 prelim. But I tell you what, looking at the halftime scores at other grounds, this is the one you want to keep watching. Halftime 4-8, Salisbury North 32. Ross Trevor 6-2, 38. A goal in it. And I tell you what, extra time, just check your books and see what the strategy is for that. 2 5-minute each way. We could be headed there, you never know. Umpires just waiting for everything to be perfect.
Looks like Lim
this
is
second half started.
Looks like Lim's still running on Jordan O'Brien at the start of this quarter.
We'll keep a keen eye on that.
Yeah,
100%.
Mead's gone into the centre on Johansson here. So first bounce.
Some big matchups.
Yep, Clawton gets the handball away to O'Brien. He's tackled quickly. It ends up with Joey Brown. He goes around the corner. Geez, that's a well-read mark by Cameron Ball. Stood under that footy under a bit of pressure. And the breeze is definitely worth a couple at the moment. We did say that it's come and gone across the afternoon, but it's certainly there at the moment. James Wharton has it now. He's had a pretty strong influence on this game
been tough
so
too.
far. He's into the corridor.
Great defensive work from Harble, just keeping Lanzoni out of it. But now he pushes back. Lanzoni pushes back into the contest, hanging off it. I was going to say, ROCS, of course, have played 3 games in 3 weeks. Salisbury North just the 1. So we'll see if that comes out in this second half.
Yeah, that fitness level might come to the fore. Jordan O'Brien has got it now. Oh, he's come across beautifully, has Cameron Ball to smother that. O'Malley ends up with it, or Kernahan. Come down the wing. Ball trails out of bounds, and nothing obvious positional-wise change to either side. Structure looks pretty similar to how we started the game. As I mentioned, certainly looks like Lim has got a tagging role. Whew, I'll tell you what, it's just dropped about 5 degrees
Oh,
here.
that breeze is icy, coming straight through. Everyone's rugged up in their green and gold or red and black.
Feels like a soccer game where we've got the Salisbury North crowd all hunched together on one side on the far wing, and then the Ross Trevors hunched on the other pocket closer to the Catholic Church when the game finishes.
You are how you're raised. I dare say one of those groups will be sprinting onto Norwood Oval in about 45 minutes' time when that final siren goes. Going to duck his way into it. Umpire not buying an absolute inch of it. Played Dawson's been beautiful, hasn't he? Just trying to get through was Brodie McBride. Made his senior debut in 2022. Trying to win a free kick. He jumps up for the smother. The kick has to be high and long to clear of Butterworth. Silky like the maple syrup.
First to the footy, wasn't it?
Playing in front and running onto it. No one tracked Dawson, so he just puts it up with the Angels and hopes for a little bit of good luck as it comes down. It came down with a bit of snow on it. It's getting that icy here at Norwood Oval. Locked up about 45 out. Umpire's going to throw it up, waiting for the ruckman to get down there. Clouden arrives just in time, has the mismatch. Kemp forced to take the ruck contest. Salisbury North can't win it. Boundary throw in. And we've played 2.5, 3 minutes, and we're still at that half-time margin of 6 points.
Yeah, free kick to Salisbury North for the handball.
Last possession, of course.
Yep. They go short. Nice kick. Ends up with Joey Brown. He's being pressured by Lanzoni on the mark. He's looking for a handball receive. He ends up deciding to kick long. Been a little bit of this early in the quarter. Beautiful take by Ricky Thomas. The smothering intent is terrific by Ross Trevor. Jordan O'Brien quickly kicks it into the corridor for Brad Johansson. Can't mark it. Again, Ross Trevor of all the answers. But that is Kane Cheney. Turn the footy over. Marked by Jacob Russo. Heads to the hot spot. No one can take it. Now we're in good position here. Jordan just making it very difficult for them to be able to clear the ball cleanly.
Goal to margin, 4 minutes gone. What a game we have. This is exactly what we turn out to see. He's been well held since the first quarter. Jacob Fisher lost the grand final last year. He was playing at Kingston.
Don't rub it in.
They were coached by an excellent man, as far as I'm told, Sean. Not sure if you know much about him. Kick clear to this near side.
Good mark.
For our uneducated
Been good.
viewers.
Ricky Thomas on that wing.
Sean Jackson, the coach of Kingston last season, joining us in commentary for this blockbuster. And Ricky Thomas just shaping up to have a set shot, but he's going to pop it up with the teeth of goals. Does it beautifully, playing in front. The Rocks are well stocked. Oh, he punched it forward. Just get it back over the boundary. Oh, get it back over the scoreline. Concede it behind. It's right there. And eventually it goes through, and they push their lead out now to a 7-point advantage. 6-3-39, 4-8-32 on that Sportal scoreboard. 5 minutes go on Div 2 Grand Final, Norwood Oval. Come on down or keep tuned in here on Filming Footy.
Dawson does very rarely make a mistake. His game has been superb. Just ability to play well under pressure. That's a nice catch taken by Charles Kemp, who's also been pretty effective today. That kick's not the greatest, however. It's going to end up with a free kick.
It's going to give him a bit of a pump up there. He's from Orange.
Yeah.
AFL Central West, if you're
Ricky
watching
Thomas,
from there.
beautiful ball. Now he's bought himself some time. This kick's important. We're out pretty wide here. Need a nice crumb here. Johansson first hands on it. Kicked a beautiful goal from that side before. Fisher misses it. Ross Trevor come out. McCullum. We saw him involved in some pretty hard footy in the last quarter. That kick around the corner. Finn Wakeland.
Hubbles the loose one out the back. So Salisbury North, they've set the zone up here in this third quarter. ROCS kind of identify it now, but still loose at the back is Hubble.
So Joey Brown kicks it to the hot spot. Plenty of numbers there. The umpire, he has played quite a few free kicks today, Matty Harris. We haven't called out Stephen Setterblad's name so often.
Setterblad, yeah, he's been anonymous. Oh, just flying from the back. That was a great fly from the jet box. Lived up to his name. Bumped as he kicked.
Yeah, look, I mean, what he needed to do there, the Salisbury North player in Brock Fenson, was go to smother.
Yeah.
He had to go to the smother. Took the easy option of bumping and ends up giving away a free kick.
And we've seen a smothering exhibition in this opening 6.5 of this third quarter. And that's a mark that A contender, McFedrin, playing well above his years. Young Blake.
Being solid. One of the youngsters for Salisbury North. Of course, Ross Trevor have got 4 19-year-olds playing today.
Played in Central's under-16s grand final win last season. Blake McFedrin, so plenty of
Youngest
confidence
player on the
under
ground.
courage. I like some good body work. And there's Jordan O'Brien. He's just inserting himself into this contest.
He is coming into the game well, isn't he? He's still got that heavy tag, but he's had a fair influence early.
He's making Lynn chase tail in this third and just tracking him out the back. Just trying to point to him and say, if you're going to go with me, you're going to have to do it for 4 quarters. Mark taken inside and pushed in by Fisher. All the way to about 40 out. ROCS well stocked again. The shelves are there. Trying to push back and win it off the back of stoppage. Rosso, and he just picks him up like a toy. And did well not to dump him into the ground. That was O'Malley he picked up. The one club player. Played in the 2013 grand final. Back when they were in Div 1, they won that one. 2 flags in the space of 5 seasons. Locked up. 40 out. 7-point game. 8 minutes gone. Third quarter.
Yeah, Jordan O'Brien really trying to exert himself into this game now. Who can take the ball away from stoppage is pretty important here. Salisbury North boys asking for a holding the ball decision from umpire Steph Setterblad, and he
the
said,
big man out the back here,
No.
Clouden as well. So they're just playing that tactic.
he's just playing behind the footy.
Mark
Travis
that.
McIntyre around the corner. It's reminiscent of what we saw in the second quarter. It's like a bit of aerial ping pong. No one can affect a decent disposal here. Again, slapped on. Ross Trevor finally head towards the boundary line. It's good pressure there. I don't think that's the last touch, is it? Because I think it was touched off the boot.
Umpire's just getting involved and saying you've got to start over the boundary.
Okay.
It was well done. So free will be taken by Lonergan.
Lonigan, yep.
The North Ride Junior back in Sydney. So if you're watching us from New South Wales, good afternoon too.
He's got to take those.
Harble's kick was pretty measured. really well, but Clouden, yeah, you can just see he just looks a bit tired. He looks like he's been run into the ground. Swapping roles, playing loose, back in the ruck now. This is his main role in this Hawks team. And one at the back, and hasn't Butcher been good, but that time he says me, he's hit up to Pickle! Good luck getting out of that, Sean. You called it. You saw it beautifully.
Well, both umpires are in similar positions, and it looked like Stefan didn't want to make the call, but Matt Harris says he has.
Matty Harris,
he has no
don't
problem.
worry about that. Born with a whistle in his mouth, Matt Harris.
Travis McIntyre limping noticeably still on that left leg.
Lonergan just calling for a short handball because there's no ROCS play within 5 metres of him. Now he's manned up.
Well, he's
going to back himself.
Yeah, he's kicked one this end of the ground in the first quarter. So, sore knee or no sore knee, he's going to have a crack from outside 50. I don't think he'll make the distance personally. Oh, my goodness gracious.
What's he done?
What
has he done? He's absolutely put that on the highlight reel for red and black. McIntyre, that he's made an absolute embarrassment of it and that. And all of a sudden, within a few seconds, straight down the other end of the ground, with the cool head of McFedrin and Harble, they combine. And pushed under the footy is Lim, umpire right there. They're still waiting on the first goal of this third quarter. 10 minutes gone. Will it come the way of ROCS? They sure hope so. They're going to pump it in.
Dawson again, it is, who's able to get free.
He's roaming the ground.
Yeah, he's getting plenty of the ball.
Inside 50 kick coming up here, surely from Dawson. Unless there's a short option, the ruckman comes for it. He's coming for a rest, Butterworth. Short kick, gee, you had to measure that.
Puts the boundary umpire under a little bit of pressure there.
Went to Bianco and got the measuring tape out. Seen a few Bianco mark of the week contenders, haven't we, today?
We have.
Here's McCallum.
Okay, he decides to go long into the teeth. Umpire again, Matty Harris, no problems putting that whistle in his gob. He's found another free kick. It is to Ross Trevor.
The crowd are pretty happy. He looks like boxer.
Yeah, I couldn't see what that was for. Both sides rotating heavily off the interchange bench, which is a good sign because, as you mentioned, and I think we spoke about just before half-time, looked like some fatigued players early in the game. This is Jet Boxer.
So where that free kick was paid, it looks like Matty Harris wasn't the umpire in control. His job there is to watch the plays leading for the footy.
Right.
So you would assume that it was a hold as Boxer was trying to lead towards the ball, and that's the umpire who's not in control's job, is to watch those leads. So spot on. Here's Boxer.
Yep. About 40, 45 maybe out on a 45 degree as a stumble. Geez, it looks good off the boot. Looks really good off the boot. First blood this half goes to Ross Trevor with an excellent kick into the teeth of the Breeze. Gives them a 13-point margin. In fact, 7 goals, 3 to Salisbury North's 4 goals, 8, and not the start Salisbury North would have been expecting. They've had a fair bit of ball inside their own forward 50 and haven't been able to capitalise.
What a start. We've waited 12 minutes, but if you're red and black, that's a massive goal. That's just the one that gives you the gap on the scoreboard. And I tell you what, they're multiplying on the outer wing.
One thing I do like
about ROCS fans are packed in tight.
One thing I do like about Salisbury North is that when they were challenged early in the second quarter, they bounced back quickly. So they'll need a bounce back here.
Not used to playing in grand finals, ROCS are.
Changing the ruck too, it's Finn Wakeland up against Russo. Russo gets hands on it first. Now they're a chance again through this wing.
Oh, smothering exhibition.
It is.
Just playing footy like they've been told to. Get in there, tack the footy and lay a smother when you run past it. Running past it almost was Nistriansky. He went back in, but by the time he did, it was all the way out the back. Dawson's a sharp kick under a lot of pressure. And they want it long. Kemp's calling for it. Put the hand up. He goes in this direction out the back. Floating back with it. Almost taken Brown. Dribbling in towards goal. Someone's going to be there.
Someone was, but it didn't matter.
Breathe out if you're a Hawks supporter, because it's all ROCS in the past 5 minutes. That last goal for Boxer, the Marble Range junior, and played some reserves games at North. Will he be on the end of a premiership? Coming out of half back for the Hawks is Brown.
Oof. Well, it's that man again who stands in the way, though.
And the ball on a string. Is it Jordan Dawson out there?
Dawson, best on ground for mine for this stage.
16 under 18 games at Norwood. Pumps it into about 35 out. They all fly, coming out for it. Should have probably marked that on his chest there, Russo. He's big enough. They call for holding the ball. Umpire just circling like a shark, hunting the prey. Waiting at the back, Matty Harris, looking for a free kick as well.
It
is loud out there, isn't it?
It is indeed. So Russo gets the footy in the end, handballs it forward.
Dawson again.
And the Ross Trevor crowd screaming up for holding the ball. I don't think it was.
No one ever had it.
They go around the corner. This is where they're just struggling a little bit at the minute. They're unable to penetrate much past the centre line. Their first 5 or 6 minutes, the ball was trapped in the front half of the ground for Salisbury North, but now they're having trouble getting it through the middle of the ground. There's Ross Trevor pressure being terrific. And it's not a game of zones either. It's all one-on-one old-fashioned footy all over the ground.
And as soon as either side drop that loose back, it's been equalised straight away.
Yep.
And Jake Johansson on the bench in front of us here, he's just busting his gut to come back on this ground to influence this game. Cheney, he wants to influence it. Oh, McFedrin, he's the only one that's stopping the dam from bursting back there along with his coach Harble, because ROCS are threatening to bust through here.
Bit stiff not to get a free kick. See the coach is on the bench at the moment as well.
Dragged down.
Who's the coach?
He's trying to drag himself, perhaps. He's trying to get himself back on the ground.
Yeah, so
ball stuck on the outer side. Dawson, couple of touches a minute. I dare say he's had 10 in this quarter. And there's Mr. Lanzoni.
Well, that's who Habel's been playing on for most of the day, Lanzoni. And, he's on the interchange bench.
He's got his hands up. He's saying, who has got that role?
Yeah. Well, no one by the looks of it, because Lanzoni has got the footy in his hands. It's a tough angle right in front of the Cooper's Hill, but at least he won't get much abuse from the crowd because he is kicking right in front of the Ross Trevor boys. As Travis McIntyre makes his way to the bench looking very, very proper indeed.
But SA is going to wheel around and pop it on the boot. All the way out, it's going to fall short, 10 minutes out from goal. Give it a snap! Oh, pop it all the way across back where it came from. McFedrin didn't take his eyes off it. And the ROCS fans, they're just not as happy as they were about 20 seconds ago. McFedrin takes a chance, plays on, pressured by Shute. He's held up pretty well. Haven't seen much of Hellabau. Haven't seen much of Russo. Umpire's going to make him shout, scream and shout, and roll about on the outer side. A few cricket claps in front of us from the ROCS fans in the grandstand. If you want an experience, get out there on the outer side. Warden pumps it in, looks for an option. Flying in the back, Kernahan weighed it down, and Istriansky, he was just cheating. He wanted a cheeky little handball off towards the goal square, but ball up, 20 metres out.
It is indeed. Good opportunity here for Ross Trevor to get their third for the quarter, but Salisbury North are good enough, courtesy of Jake Johansson. He heads to the wing, right in front of the Ross Trevor faithful. They end up with the footy, but it's trickled out of bounds, and we'll have a restart right in front of the crowd.
I tell you what, Sean, you called it beautifully. They've struggled to get it out of clearance, which means they've had to push Jake Johansson up around the footy, and he's not been able to impact inside 50 at all.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where I wonder whether they'll start to push a player up behind the footy, Salisbury North, just to give them a bit more creativity out of the back half. They haven't done that at this stage, and they've won a free kick here. Good advantage if it can bounce up for Ricky Thomas. It does. Gee, get his right leg cut there. Oh, beautiful pressure from Tom O'Malley. Come across and cut his leg, and unable to steer it through. And missed opportunity, I feel, for Salisbury North there.
4:10 now, 34. This quarter is absolutely flying by. 18 minutes gone. 11-point lead. You feel like Salisbury North, it's still a lot of footy to be played, but you just feel like they need the next goal here.
You see Habel on the mark, mate, so he's obviously gone forward or through the mid at the moment.
Trying to influence around the ground, juggled. Not successfully. Loud whistle, boundary throw in. See Jordan O'Brien sprinting off for a break. He had a patch, didn't he, in the opening stages?
Well, none of the big men, the ruckmen, have taken many marks around the ground. It hasn't been that style of game, has it? It's been, kick into space, and certainly some of the key forwards taking marks. Here's an opportunity for Salisbury North. It nicely thrown out. Ends up with the tag up. Lim. I beg your pardon, it ends up Joey Brown. Now Ross Trevor get it back. Good tackle. Plenty numbers. Can Fisher get at him? Can't, Mead, Butterfield, and Cameron Ball has not been able to keep that one indoors, although
Yeah, touched off the boot.
umpire Matty Harris, he has been involved in every 50-50 decision.
Those ears just aren't painted on, tell you what. Strutting around now for the boundary throw-in. As the boundary umpire stretches out those muscles and he's getting on top is Butterworth. I've got to watch out on the ROCS if they give them first use around the footy. They're dangerous forward if Sam the ball doesn't behave. This time McFedrin's under pressure. Warden needs a bounce. He might get the bounce all the way home.
Yeah, well called, Jack, and a bit stiff. The Salisbury North player McFedrin. I really liked his game. The youngest player on the ground. Thought he did it well. He punched it forward,
You can
but
blame the ball for that one.
sometimes you can be unlucky. And James Wharton grabbed it. And generally, what tends to happen with a kick, a right-footed kick across the goal like that, the second bounce will bounce the opposite direction, and that's exactly what happened. And McFedrin coming off the ground, I hope that is not a reflection of that player. It's just a rotation because he really did nothing wrong then, the young fella.
That's a big gap now. 17 points. They've kicked 4 more goals.
Biggest margin of the day, I'd say.
Indeed. Ticking the time on third quarter, if you can believe that. Salisbury North just to 6s and 7s. You can see they've dropped an extra just behind the footy coming off the back edge of the square now.
Yep. Well, I thought they might do that because they're having a bit of trouble getting the ball out with any precision.
Oh!
And if you don't mind, Sam Buckham's just giving them the don't argue. He put the ball out in front of Wharton. Salisbury North have got players there, although the bounce wasn't kind. And Ross Trevor good enough to get it, although there's a great catch by Joey Brown. Been pretty solid, Joey Brown, hasn't he?
Lim was just waiting for it. He would have had a set shot.
Good catch by Clawton. 1v2 there. He had to take that mark. He did. He's laid it off to the coach, Habel. He goes down the line. Kick goes over the top nicely. They're playing on here, Salisbury North. They probably need one. Johansson. Oh, just needed the contest in the air. Jake Wagner just couldn't quite get to the footy, and it was well marked by Swanbury of Ross Trevor.
Swanbury played some footy at Payneham in the Div 1 Rezzies. He was looking for some more opportunities, so he switched over to the Hawks. Or the ROCS, I should say, excuse me. And we'll play some Div 1 next season. 50, it's going to kick from about 55 from...
Breeze over
again,
his right shoulder.
Pocket. It'll take the ball an extra few metres.
You sit this one up on the right post, I think, mate, and he'll do the rest.
Oh, called by Sean Jackson. He puts it up to the right, but it just doesn't have the length, and just trying to get a boot to it. Fisher, the big fish.
Just
Hasn't quite reeled him in yet, Fisher. He's just around the edge of this game.
2 metres short that kick wasn't it? An important kick for Salisbury North because, you know, they're 16 points behind. That would have been handy.
I'll tell you what, though, North have a few players who are just, if they just get themselves a grip on the footy, just a couple of touches, they can take over a game within the space of a few seconds. They haven't been able to get involved.
Dawson again.
Short from Butterworth, and Dawson's going to hang a couple of medals around his neck, I dare say.
Trying to slow the game down a little
Best
bit.
on third quarter. The captain comes on. McCallum offers up a short lead. He's ignored the big man Clouden. He needs to really get involved. He's done so in the past couple of minutes. Here's the coach Harble. He always hits targets. Wanted a free kick. Ross Trevor have got 2 or 3 free men everywhere. Tripped over his own feelings. Timotheus. Oh, and just calm it all down. Lim hasn't had much of the ball, but boy, he's been influential today.
Well, he has. We saw Jordan O'Brien have a purple patch for the first 10 minutes of this quarter. Need him to get going again if they'd have any chance of putting some pressure on the scoreboard. Ball's trail, a little bit of action going on behind the footy here.
Ross Trevor just getting stuck in and saying, look, you know, we know how to win grand finals and you don't. It's pretty simple at the moment. 16-point lead, 23 and a half gone. Either next goal the Hawks, Sean.
Yeah, well, the most glaring thing for me is that Salisbury North have not been able to, like they were in the first quarter, hold the ball in the front half of the ground. So they've been able to get it in there at times, no question, but it's come straight out. So their pressure to hold the ball in the front half of the ground is almost non-existent at the moment. They've got to If they're going to win this game, they're going to have to change the balance around in the front half of the ground for me.
And they're a team who all season have done well playing in front. They haven't been headed much in this entire season, and especially in that grand final qualifier, held ROCS goalless to half-time. Fisher kicked 3. He just needs to get himself involved. Clouden needs to influence the game.
Got a shin injury here to Johansson, I fear.
Everyone a breather here, that's Jakey Johansson.
Jake Johansson's the last person in Salisbury North need to come off the ground injured.
They want a couple of them out there at the moment. They want one around the ball and one up forward. And they've only got the one Jake Johansson at the minute.
The trainer was trying to get him off the ground there, I think, and he's elected to stay out. So
100 Sandfield games for 3 clubs.
Obviously a tough competitor.
Clouden wins it, but it's turned straight over. Lim getting involved. He wants a slice of the action. Mead! Oh, they're going to get one. A lucky bounce, are they? They wanted it. They were calling for it. You don't get luck more than once in a grand final. Salisbury North is going to take it on now. 25 gone. They trail by 17 points.
Yeah, you can't do that. Clouton, bad enough you got outmarked in the contest, but then to give away 25 metres in the middle of the ground is absolutely crucial.
And it's not looking good for Jake Johansson. He's just hobbled off and he's in the hands of trainers too, so it's just all going wrong for the Hawks at the moment.
It is indeed. Ross Trevor have taken it to them this last 10-15 minutes and they haven't responded well like they did in the second quarter. Sam Buckham, he's been very good all day, straight in front, 30 metres out. And he makes no mistake about that one. That is his first for the day. And I tell you what, they'd be very happy with the only player for Ross Trevor who didn't get educated at the school. They may make him an honorary Ross Trevor tonight.
And they're doing all of this, and Finn Wakeland's got zip, nada, nil. 0 goals on the board.
Yeah, you wouldn't have picked that.
And they are absolutely dominating this game at the moment. Lucas Stepic left out. Bold coaching from Damon Boots. They went for the extra around the footy. And the speed on the ball and bringing in James Butterworth.
Well,
it was a no-brainer pick, but it's been an excellent coaching move.
Well, of their 4 top goal kickers for the year, 3 of them haven't scored a goal.
It's an incredible start.
One of them because he's not playing.
Sitting in the grandstand, can't do much, but Salisbury North need a goal, need it now. Their fans are starting to murmur on the outer side. That's going to be holding the ball because the umpire has stopped to an absolute standstill.
Big Fisher with the two-handed
Here's the
drop.
fish.
Will he celebrate with a double cobra? I'm sure he will if he can get this online.
Well, you know a bit about him.
I'll tell you what, he's got the most ungainly kicking style you've seen, but generally pretty effective.
250 goals for Broadview in just over 100 games.
Yeah, handles pressure pretty well.
Call this one through for us, Sean.
Has yet to play in an A-grade grand final premiership side, I should say. Outside 50. Oh, the drop's not good. And unfortunately, no score there for the Tuna Bake.
A goalless third quarter there for the Hawks.
Yeah, 4-11 to 9-4. Well, that's a 23-point margin, almost 4 goals. And in the context of this game, well, clearly the biggest margin of the day, but in the context of the low score, well, it's going to be very difficult for Salisbury North to come back from here, I feel.
So, the ROCS, they had to play some real tough games in the past 3 weeks. Athelston in the qualifying final, led at every change, trailed at every quarter break against Salisbury North in the semi-final, and then last week made the trek out to Elizabeth Oval, and you'd be forgiven for thinking they'd be out of petrol tickets for the grand final, but they have turned up with an absolute roar in that third quarter. They won the Div 1 grand final in 2017, made it again in 2018, lost it again in 2020, relegated in 2022. Well, they're looking to put a rubber stamp on their promotion with 1 quarter left. 4-11-35, Ross Trevor 9-4-58. It's going to take something pretty special from the Hawkers.
Yeah, indeed it is. They will have to play above the level they've been able to play at today to win this game.
They might have to settle for that Div 1 promotion because the grand final win is looking out of reach, but anything is possible. Last quarter coming up next. Go around, check out those other Div 3, 4, 5, 6 grand finals and the Div 1 prelim on filming footy in the quarter break. But come back and join us. Ross Trevor by 23 points at the final change. Div 2 grand final here at Norwood Oval. Put the foot down in that quarter. Wowzers. Fourth quarter coming up. First 5 minutes. This is where it's going to be won or lost for the green and gold. Fans have turned out in number. Look at that, Norwood Oval. It's an absolute picture. And the midfield groups in the middle there. Sean, you've got the coaching experience. None other can match in SA footy. What's the messaging at three-quarter time, especially on the Hawks side of the ball?
Well, from Salisbury North's perspective, I think they've really got to just take the game on. They can't afford to sit back and wait. The first 5 or 10 minutes is pretty important. They've probably got to play corridor footy a bit. I guess the other thing that's glaringly obvious to me is that quarter they were unable to hold the ball in the front half of the ground. So what they've got to try and do is play a front half game. So they've got to try and get it in and then lock it in. And that's what they haven't been able to do. It's not going to be easy to go in against the breeze. Ross Trevor got the breeze at the back, but they're going to have to take it on. And conversely for Ross Trevor, well, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. They don't need to do anything different. They're 4 goals up. They had a terrific quarter. Just play the percentages. And again, I'd say to them, the first 10 minutes, if they can hold the score for the first 10 minutes, they're almost home.
Looks like we have the closest game of the grand finals as well, and the prelim as well. And Div 1 is Port District. They're going to win that pretty comfortably, so they'll go through and play Glenunga this time next week in the Div 1 granny. Paynham a brilliant run to the prelim.
Oh, well, and the Division 3 three-quarter time score is Henley 86 to Lockley 17, so no surprise there, and probably just a little bit of a surprise on the margin given what it was at half-time, but they're clearly in front there.
And the Div 4 one, you've got Kilburn, unbelievable story, back-to-back premierships. They're up by 45 points in the fourth quarter against Westminster. Yep. Mitcham and Colonel Lake Gardens, looks like the Hawks are up by 38 points early fourth quarter there. And I'd say there is a close one. Salisbury and Eastern Park, 13-point game in the fourth quarter there.
Right, I just got a message from the old Ross Trevor coach, Benny Watkins, saying to pump up the skipper if they win Daniel McCallum. He's a big Daniel McCallum. And in fact, anyone who's ever had the opportunity to coach Daniel McCallum would always only have complimentary things to say. Last quarter underway. Butterworth and Cloughton, as they have most of the day. Cloughton gets this one, pushes it forward, but Butterworth ends up with it. Here's an opportunity now for Salisbury North. Brodie McBride goes to centre half forward. Fisher
the
stands
Fish.
under the footy. Need a free kick, Salisbury North, don't they? If they can get one early,
would be.
get a bit of adrenaline.
Grandstand start.
This is what they want. This is an opportunity to hold the ball here, the front half of the ground. Johansson's got it. Good to see him back out on the ground. Oh, that was Brad actually. Fisher with the left foot. Now they're a chance. Costanzo, can he get it on line? It's on line, won't have the reach. Wow, Russo has taken a mark. Almost the same distance that he missed from in the second quarter. And, hey, players are only human. That would be going through his mind right now.
And he would have wanted a chance to set that right, wouldn't he, for the past quarter and a half. Well, here is your chance to step up to the plate.
Well, kick through the ball. And he's still held back on it, but he's nailed that one. Jacob Russo, well done, son.
Here we go.
That is his first for the game, and that'll give him a nice shot of adrenaline. 5-11 Salisbury North, trailing Ross Trevor now by 17 points, who are 9-4. They wanted the first goal. I said the first 10 minutes was going to be important. Well, that's inside a minute and a half. On that ratio,
They'll win by 10 goals.
they'll kick 15 for the quarter.
If you're a Hawks fan, tune in. It's your flag to lose. They're down by 17, minute and a half, 2 minutes gone. Umpire's going to throw it up, another one here. And the Hawks fans, they're just bubbling on the stove. They're ready to boil over. Just punching it late, coming through, Clouden. The throw up was a little bit fierce. Put the hand out, they shout for ball. Umpire's not playing. Warden coming through, kicked a miracle. He's trying to go ground level. Diglett style from Pokemon, just trying to go down. Oh, he threw it. Lanzoni to cancel out the early Salisbury North goal.
Well, I pumped his tyres earlier.
Champagne footy from
a quarter
Ross.
ago about being a great kick, Lanzoni. That would have been, would have been terrific for Ross Trevor, but he wasn't able to steer that one on.
Back to an 18-point game. If you're watching from anywhere around the world, Lanzoni again, he just shrugs him off and puts it all the way down. Oh, just stretched. All the fibres. Finn Wakeland has been kept quiet. Bob's up at the right time.
I think they've got to find another avenue coming out of the back half, Salisbury North. That kick one-on-one of the two big blokes was just clearly won by Butterworth. And as a result, Ross Trevor's Finn Wakeland.
Looks like Ricky Thomas had the job on Lanzoni, and you just give him a couple of metres.
40 for the year. This is his first for today, if he can get it.
Usually, I was going to say pretty regulation. They practice those every night, those snaps around the body. Doesn't score. McFedrin out of half back, and Salisbury North can go, or can they? Maybe not.
Wow, he needed to hit that kick, didn't he? They were just a bit slow to get the ball going, actually. Costanzo I think he had a free player straight away and then just held the ball up a little bit and ended up putting him under a little bit of pressure, but as a consequence, they were not able to get the ball out with too much precision. Costanzo has another crack at it, puts it nicely into the corridor for the coach. He pushes it forward. Don't like to see that, though. When you're clear, you've got to go with your two hands at the footy and try and soccer the ball. They've got numbers here, Salisbury North.
Or Johansson's leaking up the back.
Spills out into space. Geez, the loose ball gets been good by Ross Trevor. The game has lifted. It's lifted at the moment. Both sides cracking in. Tulio DeMatteis, the veteran, stands under the footy and just composes Ross Trevor once again.
Just going to mention he was the one loose in the middle of the ground when the ball was at half forward for ROCS. And North manned him up pretty quickly. They've been equalising that all day. Turns it straight over to the Fish. Looks like he's just got a bit of a knock.
Yeah.
He's got that right leg taped up. Doesn't matter when he's left-footed. He pumps it. 1-2! Also taken over. Johansson! Yeah! Game on! Don't go anywhere! The Hawks are swooping in!
Folks, you don't even have time to get a coffee, a beer, or go to the toilet.
Or if you're in the pool in Barley, don't get out. Get yourself another Bintang note.
Call for the waitress, because we are back alive here at the parade. 4 minutes 55 gone. They've kicked 2 Salisbury North. They now trail by 12 points.
It's that man Fisher getting involved too.
Oh, the big
he mentioned
tuner.
he kicked 3 in the qualifying. He's been just around the edges, but he's just ripping through.
Oh, what
in
about
this
Big
fourth.
Russo?
And Johansson just reading it beautifully.
Yep.
Read it like a cheap novel.
Not a bad ploy, I reckon, get the ball long in Russo. He's got a bit of size on Kane Cheney and a bit of weight and a bit of height.
So again, another loose there in D50 for ROCS. We'll see if North push that. Their loose is at half forward, so loose at either end of the ground. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, so they've gone for a spare behind the footy now, Ross Trevor, and Salisbury North beautifully have pushed another player. So what that's done is made, again, for the people at home, the right-hand side where Salisbury North are attacking, you've got a 7-on-7 and more space at the Ross Trevor end. So that's a win for Ross Trevor.
There's that matchup, pushed up around the footy. Excellent coaching.
Yeah, nice kick from Brody McBride around the corner. He's starting to come into the footy. Just need a strong tackle here, Salisbury North. It's in space.
Ooh.
Todd Pearce goes on the left.
The
Is
loose
that
is
Russo he's looking for?
There he is.
Again.
It's a loose.
Demetrius, his ability to read the play in the air, terrific. Stands under the footy with real courage.
6 league games for Norwood in 2014, so he's got the experience in big moments. McFedrin just runs under it. Stokes pumps it. Ground level, no one really wants it. The first one to demand it. Just to hack it. Lanzoni from Clouden's grasp over the back. Hellebout. Right up, was it Brown? Oh, nobody really wants to get involved right now. This game is on the line. Go and win it. Butcher. Butterworth, pick it up.
Take a tackle.
Slippery. It's a bar of soap. It's an imperial leather out there. Lanzoni will use it, but he's taken by Brown.
Trouble. Great kick, Lanzoni. Great kick.
Boxer with the left hook. And he went back for seconds, and this will just calm him down. And can you believe we've only played 7 minutes? This quarter has had it all.
As indeed. What a start to the last quarter. Check Boxer. This is for his second for the day.
Port Lincoln's finest.
Yep.
Salisbury North are just getting on top, and that hack out of mid-air at half-back.
Well, they saw a few fumbles, didn't we, in the middle of the ground, and in the end it spilled clear.
Boxer directly in front. Just calms everything down. Just extends the lead back to where we were a few moments ago and comes straight off for a rest. The Jet, he needs refueling, but he's popped the lead back out to 3 goals, and he gets turned back. He says, the bench say we need you out there.
Listen, this is not AFL footy, son. We don't kick a goal and come off in this competition. You kick a goal, you stay out and kick the next one.
And we've lost the footy, so someone's got a free footy in their backyard over the back on that
security guard's got it now.
Beulah Road out there. The kids have gone and got it in the Roger Woodcock barbecue area. Oh, it'd be nice down there.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a snag just to warm things up a little bit. So, folks,
They'll calm the nerves though, Sean.
8.5 minutes in. Nice little comeback goal from Ross Trevor there, just to ease the pressure a little bit. The Salisbury North are coming and coming hard. And interesting enough, umpire Matty Harris gives the ball to Jake Johansson to have a look at. This time, Russo's gone in the ruck, kicks it off the ball quickly. Meads in best position, hacks it forward. Race on. Number 14, Nicholas Stokes, has a bounce, love it. Keep going, son. Does, got to hit this kick, misses it. Butterworth, great positioning. Costanzo can't catch it. Quick kick from the coach. Hable! Whoa! That's gone forward quickly. And I tell you what, this is the bloke I reckon if Salisbury North are to win the game, Jakey Wagner is the player that can do it for them. Important kick. This will put them back to within 2 points. He's copping it from the Ross Trevor old collisions. No swearing though out there.
What a moment.
Jake Wagner, time to stand up, son. And he's pushed it right. Oh. Got to hold this one in now. Got to hold this ball in if you're a Salisbury North player. The zone, super critical. McCallum plays on quickly. Handballs to that man of the match, Dawson. And again, just like that, the pressure's been relieved and we are out to centre wing.
18 scoring shots to 15. Salisbury North, but ROCS have got 4 more goals. That first quarter, where every time it went inside 50, it seemed like they scored a goal, ROCS.
Yeah, they've missed a couple of easy ones, haven't they, today, Salisbury North, and that was one of them there from James Wagner.
Coming home to roost in the 4th. Still plenty of time. 10.5 gone. If you're a Hawks fan, this one's not over.
No.
Those fans on the outer side know it.
No, strap yourselves in, folks. There's plenty of footy yet to be played here. We're another 15 minutes of footy. This could still go either way.
ROCS made the going in the early stages a couple of weeks ago, and they came home with about 4 or 5 goals in the space of 10 minutes.
Costanzo into the corridor.
Goal-scoring machine when they're on.
Great kick to Brodie McBride. Oh, what an intercept. Is that Tulio Demetrius again?
He's playing himself.
Or Mead.
He's
That might
playing
be
himself
Mead,
into a
actually.
role, but that's Mead out there on that occasion. But
Yeah.
whoever's filling that role, that loose man just drifting back, is just tracking the footy.
Yeah.
That's 3 uncontested marks for that loose in this quarter.
Well, Russo, he's having a good last quarter. It's one of the few times we've seen a mark from the big fellas around the ground.
Kick to kick.
Yep. He's going searching. It's all Ross Trevor there.
Yeah, that's that loose roll again. It's on this
Cameron
occasion
Ball.
ball, was it?
Yeah, it's Cameron Ball, experienced player. Look at him, goes to O'Malley in the corridor. He's got space in front of him. Big hole. Big hole also in front of the full forward. Can he hit it there? Oh, what a set of jukes. What a catch. He's got a beautiful pair of hands, Jet Boxer.
O'Malley, 11 years ago, he's one of 2 survivors from that 2013 grand final win, over 200 games, and he put it on a platter for Boxer. He couldn't help but mark it.
Yeah, he used to be a back pocket player too, so
His brothers
come up the ground a little bit.
have played for the club, O'Malley, as well.
Yep.
The school.
So this is a 3rd goal opportunity for Jet Boxer. No other player on the ground has kicked 3. And this will be like salt in the wounds of Salisbury North, having just missed an opportunity the other end of ground. He is about 30 metres, almost straight in front. Probably an opportunity for the fat lady to start warbling her voice. But unfortunately, pressure, well, they say it builds diamonds, but in this occasion, the pressure caused a crack.
Well, have you got anything on in about 15 minutes, Sean? Because the Hawks are 3 goals away from extra time here.
Yeah, great kick from Havel too.
Brings it in.
Gets it back.
He's really getting involved. Trey got 3 men everywhere in the middle of the ground, and so
Good footy. Look at the numbers in the corridor
How
here.
about?
Switch.
Oh, that's a risky one. They had him free for about 30 seconds before he kicked it. They're going to get away with it, though. He wanted Stokes busting a gut to try to get after it, and then dismissing his opponent was Russo. But he's turned it straight over. That loose man again
What
behind
sort
the
of
footy.
quarter is Demetrius having, if you don't mind?
He wants to rip the best on ground medal away from
Dawson, yeah, it's a
Dawson.
1v1 there at the moment. He's got it back now.
And just taking some time off the clock here, and if they want to switch it all the way back to the pocket, the captain's on here on the other side of the ground, might be a bit risky.
Well, if Dawson wants to win the medal, he'd want to stop kicking it back to Demetrius, wouldn't he? So, Tulio, long. The young kid from Salisbury North stands underneath that footy. Nobody can mark it cleanly, though. We are 14 minutes nearly gone. Salisbury North been able to at least hold the ball up here on the wing. Need to push forward from here. Hits the space. Ross Trevor first, hands onto it. They kick long. It's an important ground ball here. Salisbury North win it. They got numbers this side. I reckon this might be Dion Lawler with the footy. Had a really good second quarter. He hit this kick. Good kick to Clawton.
Didn't bomb away.
Wheel
'cause
around,
Rox
son. Wheel
had the
around.
loose.
Great kick. Great kick. And it's the bloke I was referring to earlier on, I think, that's got the footy, isn't it? Jake Wagner? Yes, it is. Now, I'm not sure he can make the distance from here.
He'll kick from about 50. He's only played the 6 senior games. He's got 17 goals in the season, though. Kicked a bag of 5 against Athelston. This one needs to go through.
Come off a shoulder injury.
Oh.
Look at that kick. Oh. Russo, are you there, Russo?
Smart.
Well, Jakey Wagner, yeah, missed last year with a shoulder injury. Salisbury North be grateful to have him back playing.
Well, the Hawks needed that point. 3 goals away from the lead now. That's what it is. And 15 minutes gone. So 10 minutes of real footy, you'd think, for the Hawks to save their premiership dream. They haven't won one. They're back in Div 1, but they want the flag to hang from the rafters.
Again,
How many
Ross
times have
Trevor.
they just turned it over? McCallum, right place, right time this occasion.
Look, cometh the time, cometh the hour, something like cometh the best men. The experienced players of Ross Trevor, Dulio Timothyus, McCallum, Dawson, these ones are standing up in the last quarter when the game's on the line.
Just putting themselves where they know the ball's going to fall,
Yep.
and just taking care of the rest.
So they've had plenty of forward 50 entries this quarter. Russo again.
Now, can he actually lower his eyes here?
It's not a bad kick, but it's McCallum that punches the ball away. Needs
Arbu's
ground ball
pushed
in.
up. Watch for the handball receive. No.
Should have gone the handball to the captain coach then.
All the way to the back, picked up by the captain O'Brien. Oh, they've got three back. It almost beat them all. Could you believe that?
Would you believe it was the same three players though?
Oh, he went up. Sorry, Sean. He got the ladder from Bianco and he went up for the mark. They've kept it in. Rocks have about 5 on none. They spoil each other, but they might just get the clearance. The pressure's on. It's hot in the kitchen.
Well, have a look at this front of the square, mate. There are 4
There's
unopposed
literally
Ross Trevor collegians.
6, but yes, 4, 5, 6.
Well, where are the Salisbury North players? They're all way outside 50. They need
There's
stuff.
about 3 or 4 behind.
Well, they're no good there. They're no value there, mate. The ball's not there. Get up the ground and put some pressure
they
on
are.
there. It's where you need to be. Not back.
Ripping your hair out as a coach, Sean, with your coaching hat on. It's just when you've got 3 behind the footy pointing and shouting when you need 3 goals and you've got 5 loose opponents inside your forward 50.
Well, they've been
And then you
badly-
do silly things like that.
Oh, it kills you. They're badly outnumbered in the front 50. They keep
panicking
getting the
a bit.
ball.
The structure has been completely lost.
Yep, they'll review this game if they lose this, and they'll just go, well, that 7 or 8 minute period where we had all footy inside our front half, and we just allowed Ross Trevor to mark the ball unopposed.
And they had a lot of ball in the first quarter inside 50 as well, and just couldn't put a score on the board. Rocks went bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
And that's what the game is lost at the moment. 3 goals to margin. Haven't ticked into time on yet, though, and gee, we've seen plenty happen miracle-wise, but one more red and black goal and that might end things. Turned over. Shoot. Lost the grand final at Sandford level last year, and didn't that mark need to be taken by Stokes? Oh, it's turned over straight away. Trouble brewing. Can they rush it? They really can't. With the state of the game, McFedrin's got to measure it. Nope.
Out on the full. Good pressure from Ross Trevor there.
Boundary umpire right there. He should have stopped and just banged it long down the court. Surely just
Yeah.
tried to go too cute.
Now, is a good parallel to the two sides, wasn't it? No one from Salisbury North able to take the ball cleanly in their defensive 50. At the other end of the ground, Ross Trevor was a raffle. 4 blokes raffling who's going to take the footy.
So Jimmy Warden, 24 under 18 games for Norwood, 13 resis. This will put it beyond doubt from the boundary. Oh, it looked good. It just faded towards the right. And the Hawks have to go. They have to swoop now. 18 and a half gone. They're going to have to go end to end, but it's turned over. And this man, he points towards the goals. He even wants a shot from 60. I dare say he's not going for it. But Dawson just taking the time off the clock. He'll pump it towards the goal square.
Yeah, I love McFedrin for a young kid. I like his game. I think he's going to be an absolute cracking player at this level if he doesn't have another crack at SANFL level. But
This is Kernahan here. He kicked 3 in the qualifying final.
okay. So some distant relation to the CEO of the league, I believe, Fergus Kernahan. Spent a bit of time at Payneham Norwood Union. This is the seal if he kicks this, and he's got the wind coming over his right hand shoulder. I think really should kick this 40, maybe 45 metres. Only the distance may be the thing. He sits it up for the wind to take it. Yeah, just couldn't quite get the length. Portland's marked that, and that's a good mark by the big fella. Played on quickly, none about that handball. They're going to get away with it, maybe.
Go.
Could have been holding the ball, the umpire let it go.
like it,
They're in the
mate.
corridor, they've got to take a risk now, Salisbury North. Lawler, Costanzo, down the line, rocket ball, Ross Trevor!
In the middle.
Behind the ball!
There's about 3 Salisbury North players in a paddock in the middle of Norwood Oval, and just panic again from the Hawks. You called it, Sean. They're going to review the 4th quarter. They're going to celebrate the promotion. They're going to rue a missed opportunity here, though. both arriving at the same time and head over the footy first from
Yeah, courage from both players there.
the Hawks. Umpires called time, so no time is wasted, but we're into time on. Harble. Is he going to push himself up the ground? He hangs back. His kick goes towards Lonery, and he's been kept pretty quiet. Former South Adelaide man. McBride, need a goal. Need it right now. The kick just falls short. Wagner just needed to put an extra little step in. He didn't want it enough, but he wanted the tackle. Have the Hawks got anything left? They do. It comes out the back. Pierce's handball. And just ripped off it. Wagner forces the umpire into a decision. Ball up. 21 minutes gone. Need a goal and need it right now.
Well, it's the first time they've been able to neutralise the ball in their front half for quite a while. Players getting pushed. Here it is, the big ruck and clout, and can he do it around the corner? Looking for Russo. He started it this quarter. The big Russo, he hasn't let him down this quarter. He's had an absolute ripper. So he kicked the goal from about this distance out 10 minutes ago.
Not wasting any time.
This is a badly needed one. He's missed.
Umpire's dance. No, he's got it.
Oh. Well, he moved pretty hard to his left-hand side. The
Umpire had
umpire
the
scared
dirty
the,
dancing shoes on there, didn't he?
scared the bejesus out of me, if you're allowed to say that on live TV.
21 and a half gone.
7-13. They trail 11 points, 22 minutes. Look, there's enough time.
Not done.
Centre bounce, vitally important. Have a look at the front half of the ground again. They're outnumbered. Don't allow them to play a spare there. They've got two spares behind the footy.
So they've got Thomas on the wing. He's pushed. He's staying there, but they've equalised now. No, still got a spare there,
They
Rox.
can't win if they leave the spare back behind the footy.
You're
Push
better
that
off
player
risking a
forward.
loss by 4 to 5 goals, winning the game. Push
Yep.
a couple of numbers in there. Clog it up if you must.
They've done it well, Ross Trevor. The coaching's been terrific this quarter. 11
Experience.
points, centre bounce, all important.
Sprinting off the back edge of the square is Harble. Clouden, he's got something in him. He's dived on that as he has.
Oh, the ball
Matty Harris.
Yes.
Grandstand finish coming. What have we had this quarter? Lots of goals, a football change. There's plenty of time left.
Good handball, great handball. Russo's the target, I would have thought. Ball spills the ground. Russo goes one way. Johansson. Oh, it needs a loose ball take here from Salisbury North. Now, much better pressure, isn't it? Now they've pushed up the ground.
At the back. Brown was there.
Houghton.
Someone just go get it. They try. He's jumped on it again. This might be holding the ball. Oh. Well, swallowing the whistle there.
That was an opportunity there for Salisbury North. They've got to be aggressive now.
23 and a half minutes on the clock.
Caught in first hands. It's out, spills out now. They're an opportunity here.
Stokes.
A ground ball been taken too high, maybe? No. Oh, crowd appealing for
How's
everything.
the tackle there? I mean, that's so easy to give away a high free kick when the player's got the head down, but the tackle technique was perfect. So much pressure and tiredness and fatigue.
Well, a lot better pressure now in the front half. They've evened it up, Salisbury North. And
Rocks still have that loose about 15 out.
good handball.
They've got to try to go short, but they've got to get the footy first.
Again, Demetrius is the player who's able to get it out.
They've
Kicks it to
got,
Wharton.
they've got support if they can just win the footy, the Hawks, but they can't.
He kicks it high. What? He's put the kid McFedrin under a fair bit of pressure here. He'll get the free kick anyway, because it wasn't able to stay in for Finn Wakeland. He probably needs to switch the play here. Salisbury North, I'll be looking to try and get the ball out the fat side. That's what Hable does, experienced player. Into the corridor, good kick, gets it
Someone's
back.
got to come up
Still
for
in the
it.
corridor, short. Don't mind it. Got to take this footy now. Oh, it's not on the ball from mine. Oh, it's on the ball.
It's a big call. I mean, he did go back in and there was a second tackle. He could have squeezed out a handball.
Wow,
Again, though, where were the players leading towards the footy?
Bo Baldwin slows the player. Good experience been given to him here.
Play on called.
Goes long.
Oh,
Great
he's
intercept, mark by the kid again. Blake McFedrin. He'll be high in Salisbury North's best.
He's got a career ahead of him.
Gives it to Joey Brown. He takes him on now. They're having a crack, Salisbury North. Rosso, stand under this footy. Good take. Here, again, me. Gee whiz. When they've needed them. Lim now, around the corner. Just touch it, the crowd says, and that is a great win for Ross Trevor. In fact, I'm going to call that as the match-winning win touch.
They would have given him the footy there if it wasn't touched, and followed it out. 25 and a half, 2 minutes in the clock. Salisbury North need to get it down coast to coast and then do it again. Put it on replay. The big man, he's got a couple of steps left. Is there a couple more tricks in the bag? Story of the day. Possessions just haven't hit. And Buckham, with all the experience, puts it on a platter. But McFedrin's read it almost the best of anybody. So we're under 2 minutes. Costanzo, they've just got to go now. Lonergan, and it hasn't hit, and it just hasn't hit all day. They just know how to win them. They just know how to win grand finals, and you can see the devastation of the Hawks. The promotion means absolutely nothing now. But they can't say they didn't have their chances. And for Ross Trevor Old Collegians, they are back. And they're back in a big way, back in the big time.
Yeah, no, well, when the game was in the balance like it was halfway through that quarter, Salisbury North were challenging Ross Trevor. There was the experienced heads and it was the structure. And to be honest with you, the experience of the coaching staff, I think what we saw today was the value of a non-playing coach versus a playing coach. And that's no disrespect to the assistant coaches of Salisbury North, but the ability to be able to get players behind the ball free, Ross Trevor, when they were threatened, and they were able to take mark after mark and relieve the pressure, just proved the difference in the end, didn't it? That was.
Well, they had enough inside 50s to score 5-6 goals.
Yep.
They just didn't learn quick enough, really. And they ran out of time.
Not disgrace. What we've seen today, folks, for you at home, I hope you've enjoyed watching the game as much as we've enjoyed calling it, because it's been a game that's ebbed and flowed right from the start. And Salisbury North looked like they were in trouble halfway through the second quarter, going against the wind. They challenged, they bounced back. Full credit to the Salisbury North Footy Club. They can walk off this ground with their heads held high, and the new young coach, he'll learn something off the back of this game today, no question about that. Clearly, you know, a couple of experienced operators in Bootsy and Adam West there for Ross Trevor. Are able to steer the ship in that last quarter,
and to turn around that result a couple of weeks ago where they were held goalless to half time, and they've played, as we've mentioned, 3 games in 3 weeks, 2 absolute arm wrestles against Athelston with Mitch Grigg in their side to beat them twice, to go to Salisbury North's Oval, and I mean, let's be honest, goalless to half time is pretty embarrassing in a grand final qualifier. And to bounce back like they did, to be as accurate as they were, you just saw the experience in big games, the difference between the two sides. Harble leads well for Salisbury North, but ROCS have the players who have been there before, have done it, and they've done it again.
Yeah, well, clearly, it's going to be a lion ball for the medal for best on. We do give a medal for best on ground, don't we?
I think we do. The umpires have to decide that, so
right. Well, good luck with that. Then they could end up anywhere. No, I'm only kidding.
They've marched off. I think the long-sleeved one is.
The umpires haven't got marched off ever.
Pretty well. The goal umpires are still there. I'm not sure if they've been given the job of awarding the medal, but
what we see in the Oval though is the horrific difference between winning and losing. You see the numbers swarmed around the Ross Trevor boys, and then you see the Salisbury North, and it looks fragmented. And
such a dominant season for Salisbury North too. They would have come into this game just really feeling like their fate was to win this grand final.
Well, 2 wins, 2 losses for both. You know, there's a fine line, isn't it, sometimes? And again, like I mentioned before, you don't walk off the ground disgraced today if you're a Salisbury North person. You walk off proud of the year you've had, proud of the fact you've returned your club to Division 1, and something to build on for a new coach in the future. He'll learn a lot out of today. He'll learn a lot out of this season, as will the rest of their coaching staff and their playing group. But there's a lot to be positive about for Salisbury North. And Ross Trevor, well, I'm sure how many years they've been back in Division 2? Probably 3 or 4, is it?
2022 was their relegation, I believe. Just checking that on. Relegated in 2022, yeah, 9th. And it was on percentage too. So it was one of those years where they just went down by, you know, an early loss in the early part of the season, and that was it really. Yeah. And then last year they got to the semi-final and lost to Paynham by 2 points. So that devastation of last year, they would have remembered that, held on to it, and they brought it through their finals series, because we've just recapped that finals series, beat Athelston in the first week by 10 points, lost to Salisbury North, and every week it was 8 goals 12 in the first final, 6 goals 14 second final, 8 goals 12 again last week in fact. So they learned from that, they kicked up a bit more accurately, and for both these sides though, next year in Div 1, they can be competitive, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that this year, haven't we? We've seen Paynham. They're playing today. I'm not sure what the score there is. We'll try and get that for you at home as quick as we can.
Have just won that, but for a promoted team to make a prelim in their first season up is a pretty good result.
Yeah, and don't forget Golden Grove as well, who won it last year. They finished 5th. So both sides featuring the finals in Division 1 first year in. So, yeah, certainly Salisbury North and Ross Trevor have got something to look forward to there. Look, score at Woodville Oval too between Henley and Lockleys. Henley, clear favourites all year. Lost a couple of games late in the year when they had an injury run. Well, they've won 99-50, so doubled the score. So A's, B's and C's all in the grand final today for both Lockleys and Henley. My guess is that Henley might have got the 3-peat today. Their B's and C's, I'm pretty sure, were undefeated for the season. So magic day for the Sharks. But here at Norwood Oval,
huge night.
We've seen a cracking grand final. It's been an absolute pleasure to have brought this game to you. It's been an absolute pleasure to have watched. We've seen an epic grand final that has ebbed and flowed. Unfortunately, with footy, there always has to be a winner and a loser, unless, of course, there's a draw. And there's no draws in grand finals, Jack.
Not anymore, no. Well, especially at local level anyway, there was never that. But you do see, I mean, look at all, there's a number of Salisbury North players being consoled by their friends, their mates, their family. But as you said, I mean, Salisbury North out that way, yes, there's a few other clubs out there, but they do represent the community out there. It's a big part of the north of Adelaide, and they have done that area. And from what has happened to this club, you know, there's differing opinions as to if it was deserved or not. We won't wade into that. But to get back into Div 1, it's a massive result for the club. And as you said, they can be very proud of their efforts. There's a few players just running off and trying to find their family members at the moment.
Yeah, for those of you at home who have watched it and not participated in a grand final or been on the end of the grand final loss, I can tell you it's the loss. The word loss sums it up beautifully. It's almost like you've lost someone for the next, 24 hours. Because you know how hard it is to get to a grand final, and particularly I think of blokes like Jacob Fisher, who's played in back-to-back grand final losses by small margins. It's sometimes footy can be a cruel game, and it can 100%. Be just the difference and the emotions between the Ross Trevor people now and the Salisbury North are like chalk and cheese, and yet the margin didn't reflect that.
And the feeling of loss for Salisbury North, they haven't lost a game since round 10. So It's been, 3-4 months of actual time since they've actually lost a game of football. Whereas Ross Trevor have that feeling as recent as a couple of weeks ago to Salisbury North. So it's a different, just burns a fire. It's just a different kind of feeling. It's a more recent kind of feeling. And they just played the cleaner football. That fourth quarter, they put themselves in the right spots. As you said, that's where it was won. It was won by just saturating that defensive half of the ground.
Well, we're not privy enough to have stats done for us here today like we have been able to in the past. But I'd suggest to you that the inside 50s, there wouldn't have been a great difference between the two sides.
Would have said more to Salisbury North in that second half.
Certainly, yeah, in the last quarter in particular, but they just weren't able to capitalise, and that's a combination of things. That's a combination of structure, and it's a combination of experience. You know, the McCullums, the Dawsons, the Demetrius, they're the three players who can raffle the best on ground amongst themselves. The goal kickers, well, I don't think we had anyone who kicked 3 for the day.
Yeah, and for them to come in, of course, you know, without Lucas Stepic, who kicked 40 on the season, Wakeland didn't bob up until that fourth quarter. He had 40 on the season, Len's only kicked a couple. Yep. But there were, as you said, the other ones, the defensive side of it. We talked about it in the pre-game, how both sides are defensively solid. And it was the defensive of ROCS, that old saying, that old cliched, you know, defence wins premierships, attacking goals might win games during the regular season, but come a grand final, it's your back six, it's the defensive side of your play. As a coach, you'd know this, that wins you the grand final at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. They're trying to separate to get the presentation started.
Yeah, my thoughts go
take a while.
on days like this. My thoughts go to the losers. Most people, you know, just get excited about the winners. My thoughts go to the losers because there's an old saying in footy that the great thing about footy is you've got another opportunity in 7 days.
Yep.
On grand finals, you don't. That's it. It's all over. You've got to wait for another full year before you can get that opportunity again.
Season's finished.
And when the margin's small, the little things come back to haunt you time and time again. There'll be players tonight, they'll need to juice up on the Sherbies to try.
I'm sure they'll have a few ultra low carb, the old sponsors product for sure. But that's the beauty of the Adelaide Footy League is, you know, the grand final teams are promoted regardless.
Yeah.
So at least they've got something to hang their hat on. But it's, as you said, it's something that won't be in their minds at all at this current time. All they'll be thinking about is, what if I did that, and what if I kicked it there?
What about if you're in Division 1 and you lose? There's no second prize in Division 1. Every other division gets a second prize.
We'll have that for you next week, of course, the Div 1 Grand Final day. That's going to be massive here. But, I mean, the ROCS support, look at them. There's so many. There's reserves, and C grade, of course, didn't make the Grand Final. Neither did Salisbury North, but they're trying to get them to have the presentations and come to the edge of the square here. But Sean, a pleasure calling with you. I think we've experienced it pretty close. We thought it might be a draw for certain times in that second half, but they just took their opportunities when they were there.
Yeah, it was good fun, Jack, wasn't it? You know,
went quick as well.
It's been a great couple of hours because we've seen an entertaining game of footy. That there was no clear favourite all game. It ebbed and flowed, and at times Salisbury North, they got out the box, kicked the first 2 goals of the game, in fact, and then we thought, well, it's not a bad advantage going into quarter time. Then all of a sudden Ross Trevor went bang, bang, bang and kicked 3 in a row, and we thought, oh, look out, here's Ross Trevor into the breeze, and Salisbury North fought back again into the breeze in the second quarter. But again, when the game was in the balance, when the game got close, it was the experience, I think, of the Ross Trevor players and their structure that allowed them to win. And well, we're probably starting to sound like broken records going over the same thing, but honestly, we're just trying to fill in time until they do the presentations.
I think everyone's come to the front now, and the MC's ready to hand the medals out, so we'll try to tune into this, shall we?
Best on ground, here it is. We go on Patrick Dawson or Tilo Demetrius.
James Warden.
Well, we were nowhere near it.
He was up there. We'll claim that he was up there.
Yeah, they certainly played well.
You see it from a different perspective when you're on the ground, obviously. He doesn't even know he's won it. But he's the one. I'll tell you what, though, in hindsight, that kick that bent back and bounced through, it was the one that just put the margin to 3 or 4 goals.
Blood ruled in the first minute of the game, I think, too. Remember, he came to the bench and he was swearing profusely.
And then he was the one that replaced the secondary blood rule about 10 minutes later as well. Right. So umpires remember things like that. And Luke Harble comes to the front, very distinguished man, and he's a professional. So.
thanks to both clubs for the major support. The roster, that's probably one of the 80s, boys. It was 4 finals that you played, and the competition we had through the year. Absolute credit to you boys and your footy club. Look forward to a couple more strong battles in year 1, but yeah, better team on the day and really well done for yourself. To our playing group, our supporters, our families, what a community club. Great community club. I'm super proud of every single person involved. We have the motto of one club, one goal, and being team first. Every single person and partner, wife, girlfriend, family, sponsors have just played the difference in bringing the football club back up. So we didn't get the result today, but everyone should be super proud of themselves because I saw it. So well done for the
Yeah, fair call. Interesting words that there is. We probably didn't touch on that. The difference between the cultures of the two footy clubs.
Love the competition and really looking for the next year.
Salisbury North, a really strong community club. Rostrevor, an old collegian club. They do have their own facility now, but piles apart.
It's very contrasting, isn't it? And Blue Carball, only his first year, of course, then they retired from the Sandful last year. For him to really own the culture that quickly, it must be a really strong feeling around the club.
Yep.
I'd like to echo Luke's comments earlier. Thank the league, John Grenier and everyone for putting on such a great final series and the season that we've had. To Luke and Salisbury North, been the benchmark all year, which made us chase so hard. You should be pretty proud of your season. Very much look forward to competing with you in Division 1 next year. So well done to you and to your entire club.
This is the coach of Rostrevor, obviously, Damon Boots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember whether
Really like to,
Old Ignatians won a premiership under his belt in Division 2.
At the ROCS. It's an enormous privilege to be back at the footy club, and this one's for you.
Big night at Campbelltown tonight, or wherever they go back for their post-match celebrations for sure.
Thanks very much. Very special group of people at our football club.
Shout out to Jimmy Shannon. If you're watching this, Jimmy, I know you've been pretty crook. The bar at Campbelltown named after Jimmy Shannon. Long time servant there. Hope that puts a smile on your face, Jimmy.
I asked Westy and I asked a lot of you over the course of the season. Today was a very special occasion. Enormously proud of your performance. I know I certainly am, and Adam West as well. We've had an enormous season, so well done to everybody. Thank you.
And so O'Malley won the flag in 2013 with them. For him to still be there 11 seasons later, and DiMatteis in that fourth quarter, wow. I mean, a couple of massive moments. Him, Will Mead, McCullum were all there in 2017. Long time between drinks. Couple of grand final losses and a relegation since then.
DiMatteis looked like he had his own football there at one stage, didn't he, in the last quarter?
They just kept digging it to him, didn't they? Medals announced now. Number 1, Lanzoni, kicked a couple of goals. The Athelston Junior, he's stuck with them since they were relegated.
Yeah, good job in the front half of the ground, didn't he? Up against the coach, Luke Abel.
Distriansky, a bit of a quieter game, but he's had plenty of experience in Norwood and reserves level, and he played his role well.
Number 4, Paddy Dawson.
The Athelston Junior, I'm sure he's happy he's playing for ROCS these days, and we've had him as our best on.
Yeah, and I reckon he'd be happy he's wearing a long sleeve about now too.
Smart decision made about 3 hours ago. Charles Kemp from Orange, if you're watching us from Orange, hello to you. I played some footy at Onka Valley as well. From way back in Port Lincoln, Bo Baldwin. Had some footy at Norwood as well.
Number 7, Rumi.
Played a little bit of football, Port Magpies as a top-up player.
5 league games at Westies too.
Yep.
Number 8, Ryan Lynn.
Did a good job as a tagger.
Yeah, didn't he? And he got a couple of key possessions in that third quarter as well.
He did, yeah.
Inside 50s from Woodena.
Obviously his mum's a good whistler.
Start of the season in the Rezzies did Connor Butcher, and he finds himself collecting a senior premiership medal there. And if they awarded a best on ground for the fourth quarter, this man will probably get it, I reckon. He was everywhere.
Handy pickup for Ross Trevor, isn't it?
He played Norwood's Sandford Grand Final win last year, and massive pickup just behind the footy to calm everything down.
The beauty of being a good football college, isn't it? You know, that you get those players that good enough for the top end, go and play some SANFL footy or even AFL, and then come back and play for the club, the college.
And then you've got Shoot, of course. His brother, cousins, still at Stir. He played in the Grand Final, lost last year, of course, at Sanford level. The Tea-Tree Gully Junior, Jimmy Warden in the number 18, played some reserves footy at Norwood.
Number 19, Ben Wakeland.
Not sure if Finn Wakeland's in the 19, but he'll come up and take his medal anyway.
Number 22, Ben Cheney.
Yeah, persevered, Kane, made a couple of mistakes early in the game, but loved his perseverance.
Played at Mobroom 2016, 2017. And Boxer had a couple of moments. Even though he missed a couple of goals last quarter, he took about a minute off the clock with his approaches, and
played a good role.
Salisbury, Hope Valley, and Paynham Junior. He's been at ROCS for 5 seasons now. The next man up is massive inclusion today, Sean.
Yeah, I think he clearly won the ruck battle. Didn't take a lot of marks around the ground. Late in the game, Claughton took a few. In fact, Claughton's last quarter was pretty good. But I think Butterworth had it for 3 quarters.
Sam Buckham, another recruit this season. Played his role beautifully. Damon Steppick actually switched over from Athelston this season, so that's a
handy recruit.
Sliding doors moment, isn't it? They're going up to Div 1, of course.
Yeah.
And Athelston, after play another season in Div 2, made the switch at the right time.
Didn't he make the right? Not sure about his brother.
No, I know, but he'll still be on the list, hopefully. Yeah. And cut for the grand final. Fergus Kernahan and the skipper, Daniel McCullum. I mean, what more can you say about this man?
Very popular member of the Ross Trevor community.
Played
Daniel.
his 200th game 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Might be enough to see him out, perhaps. I reckon he'd be 32, 33, perhaps.
And the beauty of it too, you can hang on and play some Div 1 reserves. Football, it's a pretty good quality at reserves level when you go to Div 1 as well. So,
Assistant coach, Adam West.
And you mentioned as one of those...
Westy's played a pretty significant role alongside Bootsy as well as an old student. He was his right-hand man at Old Ignatians.
Didn't know Batman coached Ross.
And been a coach in his own right, of course, at Mitcham, and was assistant coach at Walkerville, so been involved for a long time.
So great to respect you guys in your club. The way you guys play, really respectful, and enjoy the battles over the journey, and really looking forward to playing you guys again next year. So thanks, guys. To the Ross community, you're the best community. You get around us so much. We're so supported. So that was all day today. We feel it all throughout the season. So thanks heaps. And last week was the coaching staff and the players. You're all ripping blokes. I love you so much, and let's enjoy it. Let's go.
One thing for sure, Daniel will be celebrating pretty fiercely.
Big night ahead, you can guarantee that. And they get their flag and the cup. I thought the cup might be a bit bigger, but they'll take it, I'm sure.
All players now come up on the stage. The grassed area.
The premiership location, the cameramen go to work, and this is where it begins. This is where mentally pre-season begins for Salisbury North as well. Just
got a few hangers on trying to get in the photo there.
All the fans approaching. Someone jumping in from the side there.
Yeah.
Not sure if he's even involved in the team, but hey, why not?
I'm sure it'll be the first of many photos of the next 48 hours as the Salisbury North players head off the ground.
Plenty to be proud about it out there.
Yeah, they've stuck it
season.
out. Don't normally hang around and wait the whole medal presentation, but they have, and full credit to them.
Having covered Div 1 this season, they have a list on paper which can be very competitive in Div 1 across the regular season. Of course, we wait to see. And you said as well, you know, that recruiting power that being a Div 1 team brings. They weren't lucky to get Luke Harble across. You know, he came across for an obvious reason to have another mission after leaving Central District after all his time. He led them well, but it just gives him that extra little boost to say we're a Div 1 club now.
Well, one thing I didn't notice amongst the recruits was any other Central Districts players. So generally as a playing coach, you've got peers that you'll play with, that you'll be able to attract to come with you. So I'd imagine Luke would be working pretty hard behind the scenes now to attract a few players over from Central Districts.
It's the risk you take, isn't it? When you go and recruit, and I dare say they've spent a bit of money this year trying to get up and they've secured that promotion. If they hadn't made the grand final and they were stuck another season in Div 2, it could have been quite a spiral. But they've achieved their goal. They're up to Div 1 now and it all pays off in the end. Just one final hurdle not cleared, unfortunately, for the green and gold.
Very strong financial club, Salisbury North. There's no issues there with finance. So, look, it's been a great day of footy. Both clubs can be equally proud of the day. Salisbury North players are still hanging around out in the Oval trying to soak it all in as well and pay their respects. But to the victors go the spoils. Sure where the Ross Trevor boys will go tonight. It used to be the Alma.
I was going to say, check out their Facebook page or something, but to hold Salisbury North to 7 goals in the end, when that first quarter they could have kicked probably 3 or 4 more than they did, and to put the score on the board where it mattered, a very low scoring decider, but entertaining. I dare say you can watch that back and be fully entertained. Not one player shirked the contest, from my memory anyway, and the ball wouldn't sit or behave on a few occasions, but Salisbury North slowly just working their way off of Norwood Oval. But it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you Div 2 Grand Final Day from Norwood Oval. Sean Jackson, you've been an absolute superstar to a broadcast with this Arvo.
Stop it.
Your insights have been valuable. Hope you watch this back. And it's not over, of course. Div 1 Grand Final Day here from Norwood Oval on Filming Footy next week. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Jack, and thank you, viewers at home. I hope, as I mentioned earlier, that you have had an opportunity to watch this game in the comfort of your own lounge room if you weren't here today, and you've had an opportunity to watch what is a really good advert for the Adelaide Football League and football in general. No real nastiness, no nastiness at all in the game. The game was played in good spirits. Far bigger improvement on what happened back in 11 years ago. So it just shows you that you never say never.
Yeah.
Back in those days, there was a lot of ill feeling between the two clubs. But 11 years down the track, they've played this game in tremendous spirits. We've enjoyed bringing it to you, and from us all here at Sportle Dartfish,
Filming Footy.
the whole team. Thanks very much for tuning in, and good night.